Let's wait a little bit longer. Ugh. I hate how I can't. Ugh. Dang it. I hate that you don't have an edit button on freaking Twitter, so you gotta delete, you retry it again. Okay, there we go. Ugh. Okay, so we're gonna do a new game. Keep it. Don't feel like putting in a new name. That's the standard name, is Aurora. I just did Odette last time because you got a trophy for changing the name. I think this goes by without you clicking, so if you want to read it, I'll let it go. I won't skip it, but it does disappear on its own. CG.
Wake up.
Oh, this is her dad. You know it's going to happen. She does it with all of them. Oh. Oh, you have to. Oh, that's weird. You have to. Ugh. Mia's all about that X-rated game content. So this is her dad getting all sappy, waking her up. Does it actually say? I'm not ashamed. Don't be. Actually, it was super fun on Axis's website. I mean, not on their website, on their Twitter. They did a poll. And they asked, look at Rocco. Glance over at Rocco. He seems to be the only one in the room who's actually enjoying this. He really has no shame about this stuff, does he? It must be nice to walk around with confidence and unbothered by everything. Ugh. I must have been staring at Rocco a bit too intently because he suddenly notices me looking at him. Shit. He winks at me and gives me a tiny arrogance. I look away immediately, wishing I'd chosen to look at absolutely anyone else.
Physically, female elementals and human females are extremely similar.
The birds and the bees, the birds and the bees, the birds and the bees. You mess with them, you get a, yeah, we get that flower. But no, on Axis's Axis's Twitter, they said, "Do you want us to play this game?" And I said, "Hell yeah." Yeah, of course. And then it says, bring Otome to the Switch, which they already are. And then it said, yes, please. And 75% of it said something about click the Otome option. I was like, come on, Axis, come on. If you don't know already, we're hungry for those Otome boys. Like, come on. I thought it was funny. We're gonna go to Rocco's room. Rocco, Sir Rocco. It occurs to me that asking Rocco to escort me to the bathroom might not be the best idea after a creepy experience like that, but I could use some good company, and Rocco is always fun. When he's not being obnoxious. I'm sure I'm going to regret this, but here goes. I knock on the door.
Yes?
It's me. Do you have a minute?
A small gust of wind blows the door open, revealing Rocco leaning against the doorway in what I assumed is his idea of a sexy pose. And there it is. Instant regret.
Why? I always have a minute for you, honey pie.
A honey pie?
I need your help with something. Would you mind walking me to the bathhouse?
Rocco takes a moment to process this request. How my glasses must be... This headset is making my glasses feel tight on my head. Oh, I need a new headset.
Do you even listen to the things you say sometimes? It's cruel to get a man's hopes up like that, you know.
Rocco, can you stop making this about you for once? I'll explain on the way. I just really need someone to go with me. I guess I should have asked Lux.
Rocco pulls the door closed behind him and takes me by the hand, leading me outside.
Nonsense, darling. There's no need to ask that sentient pile of muscles for a simple task like this. Rocco's got you.
Oh my god. Instant regret. I love that.
Not all of us are counting our future children. Although if you ever want to practice making any, you know where my room is.
Shit. Should I tease it? I don't know which one he'd like better. He probably like that the most.
I'm not sure I can handle a man of your experience, Rocco. I'll have to practice with someone else before I can work my way up to you. Many people, perhaps. Literally, any man but you, is what I'm saying.
Rocco laughs. His eyes crinkle when he laughs. Genuinely like this. It's adorable.
I'd slow down for you any day, Sugar Plum.
Oh my god. Someone keep count of all the, like, nicknames he has. I feel like that we need to keep count. It's Honey Pie, Sugar Plum.
So, have you heard the news?
The news?
What news?
A human boy was captured just outside our village.
What?
Humans and elementals have been at odds for generations. We've had a peace agreement with the nearby village for the last few hundred years, but things have been really tense between us lately.
Elder Soul is going to take us to see him tomorrow. This'll be your first time seeing a human, won't it?
It is, yeah. But I guess it's not for you, is it?
A good elemental boy like me would never sneak off to the human village.
Lies.
How can you ask me such a thing?
All those stories I heard about you and the human girls were just nasty rumors, huh?
And the occasional shepherd?
Yeah, those two.
All lies spread by jealous cowards.
So you're telling me all those tales of your legendary sexual prowess are outright false? Wow, thanks for clearing that up, Rocco.
Tales of my promiscuity have been greatly exaggerated, but the bits about my legendary sexual prowess are entirely true.
That doesn't even make any sense, Rocco.
Oh my gosh. Rocco takes my hand in his and brings it to his lips, barely skimming them across my knuckles. It sends a tingle down my spine.
Perhaps someday I'll show you myself.
Oh my gosh. This is literally the corniest thing ever. I snatch my hand away from him and turn so he won't use the blush on my cheeks. Won't see the blush on my cheeks. Damn him. That's cheating.
I wouldn't want to sully your unassailable reputation, Rocco. Better to save yourself for a proper angel worthy of you.
Rocco laughs.
How thoughtful of you to look out for me so. Well, go on then. I'll be waiting here until you're done.
He leans against the wall of the bathhouse and waves me off. Rocco and I walk back to the dormitory without any creepy incidents. Maybe it was just that guy, or maybe seeing me with Rocco makes them feel like they don't have a chance. Either way, I'm going to have to be more aware of my surroundings from now on. The men in the village are looking at me differently now, and it seems they don't all have good intentions. I awake to the sounds of a lot of hustle and bustle. Seems like there is more activity in the village. So now it's the bun fiasco, where she gets some sweet buns. Sweet buns. If I don't share, then Rocco tries.
So much sweetness in one place. Goodness.
He wiggles his eyebrow at me as if to make sure the fact that he is talking about my breasts is not lost to me. I roll my eyes at him. Rocco it is. I follow and step beside Rocco. He seems to be in the middle of a story about his exploits in the human village.
They're always amazed by the color of it. Ooh, it's so blue. What color did you expect it to be? Human women are so easily impressed.
Oh my god. It's so blue.
You've met like 4 human women tops. That hardly makes you an expert.
That's 4 more than you, darling.
He's got you there, Rowan.
Don't back him up, he'll become unbearable. His head's already big enough.
True. Yeah. Rocco puts his arm around my shoulder and shoos Rowan away with a dismissive wave of his hand.
Is this the thanks I get for trying to educate you? Leave us, boor.
Rowan rolls his eyes at Rocco and wanders off to walk on his own.
Don't believe his lies. Engage at your own risk with that bag of wind.
Envy doesn't suit you, darling. Ta-ta now.
So I guess today's no big deal for you, huh?
Old news, I'm afraid. But I could pretend to be surprised, if you like.
Don't put on a show on my account. But it might make Rowan feel better.
Well, as long as Rowan's comfortable. But enough about him. What about you, darling? Are you nervous?
Wow, was that genuine concern?
I am a little, honestly. I don't really know what to expect.
There's nothing to be nervous about. Humans are just like us, only infinitely more drab and boring. They have no magic or other natural weapons. Their hair and skin is comparatively colorless. You'll see. It's all a big fuss over nothing.
I heard they kind of look like earth or light elementals, but they have these cute little round ears instead.
Cute?
He is disgusted.
What was it you said a minute ago? Envy doesn't suit you, darling.
Envy? As if I would ever engage in such an ugly display of emotion. I just wasn't certain I'd heard you correctly.
He gives me his usual charming smile, but I'm certain I saw a little glimpse of something else for a minute there. We finally reach a small building on the outskirts of our village.
Gather around and listen carefully.
Now they're gonna go look at the boy, and I'm going to ignore thy boy. 'Cause your route is weird, sir. Do nothing. Your route is weird, sir. Well then, Rocco. Let's go one-on-one. Here we go. As I approach Rocco, he greets me with his usual obnoxious charm.
It's been quite a while since we sparred together. I look forward to seeing how you've grown. As a fighter, of course.
Eyes up here, Rocco.
Where else would they be?
Okay. He's into it. Rocco bows to me to signal his readiness, then crouches into a fighting stance and beckons to me. We turn his bow and open with a flying kick. He sidesteps me entirely in size.
Now I know you didn't think that kick would work, darling. You're going to have to do better than that.
He does a little bit. He's so fast, I'm going to have to distract him somehow. Let's see if he's actually as smooth under pressure as he pretends to be. Then I feint left and then follow up with a pushing blow to his torso. I snake one arm around behind his head and grab his armpit with my other hand, bringing him crashing to the ground in an expert hold. Right. Hello! Smack. I sweep my leg underneath him and pin him in place, cradling him almost like an infant. As a result, my breasts are practically pressed right against his chin. To really drive the point home, I pull his head in a bit closer. Well, I guess victory requires sacrifice. Rocco simply grins up at me.
Was this meant to be a punishment? I shall have to consider my next move very carefully.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Don't stall, Rocco. If you're stuck, you have to tap out.
Well, if you insist.
Yep. Rocco taps my back leg in a crushing leg lock, squeezing my leg so hard it feels like my knee might break. I shout in pain and loosen my grip, which is all he needs. He rolls me over onto my back and pins me to the ground, crushing his body against mine. He leans in close and whispers in my ear,
"Why, darling, if I didn't know any better, I'd think you were trying to use my body against me. Me? Can you imagine?"
I fight to maneuver out from under him, but the weight... Oh, I fight to maneuver out from under him, but the weight of his hard body on top of mine and the way his breath tickles my ear is making it hard to think. My own strategy is being turned against me.
Poor form starting something you aren't prepared to finish, isn't it? If you can't handle it, you can always tap out.
He's using it right back at her. He blows softly along my neck, sending a tingle down my spine. My mind is swimming with thoughts of Rocco. I need to get out from under him, but all I can think about is how very okay I am with all of this. Before I know it, Rocco solidifies his hold on me, and I have no choice but to tap out. I reach my arm out and pound my fist on the floor next to me. I love it. Oh my god, he's so campy. It's amazing. Rocco lets go of me immediately and stands up, dusting himself off. He offers me his hand, but I can't even look at him right now. My heart is pounding. I can't believe he would do that to me. And that it worked. Okay, fine. I started it, but it was he was so intimate it felt almost tender. That's not cool. He's never gonna let me live this down. I look around the yard, but thankfully everyone seems too busy with their own fights to have noticed what went on between Rocco and I. I stand up and bow to Rocco. No more grappling this time. That's pure entertainment right there. Rocco, as I drift off to sleep, he's the last thing on my mind. Oh my god, his dreams are gonna be good. I just know it. It's gonna just turn up the level. Here. I'm flying through the air above the clouds. I've never flown this high before. It's exhilarating, but I'm not sure I can control my speed and altitude safely this high up. The thought is barely complete before I find myself falling straight down. I drop right through the cottony cloud, leaving an elemental-shaped hole. Then suddenly a blue arm reaches out and yanks me to safety. I'm sitting on a perfect fluffy cloud. I look around for my rescuer and spot Rocco. He's completely shocked. How am I not shocked? He's completely naked. Save for a few conveniently placed bits of clouds, he's lounging with his beloved, I don't know what a lute is, in his hand.
Well, well, well. How lucky for me.
Oh my god.
Here I was, just lamenting the fact that I had no one to share my music with, and an angel falls onto my cloud. The goddess must have been listening.
Oh, jeez. He beckons to me to come closer. I lie down next to him. That mistake number one.
I'd love to hear a little something, Rocco. If you promise me you won't sing.
Okay. Am I saying it right? Lute? Lut? Luette? Okay. Like a sitar kind of a thing. Rocco laughs. Loot. Rocco laughs and turns over on his side, pulling me closer to him. His face is inches away from mine.
How cruel of you, darling. But not to worry. I think my lips will be too busy to do much singing.
Oh, shit. This is gonna be me cackling. This whole route is just gonna be me cackling. Oh my god. I wonder if anyone can do this straight-faced. I would give them an award. Whew. This is great. He runs his hands through my hair and leans in to kiss me. His curls tickle my face as his nose brushes against mine. I close my eyes and she wakes up. Oh jeez. Whew. There has to be someone who finds it very unentertaining. I find it pure entertainment. It's like, how can you not just, like, it's so, like him. It's so, they wrote, like, each character never, like, has a weird moment where it's like, wow, a character really would not do that. But it's like, to a T, 100%, that's what Rocco would do. Alright, awaken with a start. No Cloud, no Rocco. Oh goddess, what was that about? I mean, it's not like it was unpleasant, but if Rocco knew he was having this effect on me, he'd become absolutely insufferable. Come to think of it, he probably already thinks I dream about him. All the same though, I would have liked that kiss. Well, at any rate, guess I better get up and get going. Yes, girl. Get up and get going. Oh, jeez, this is so funny. Love it. I barely get a few steps into the village proper before a group of villagers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, why not? Just as the small crowd of villagers arrive, I look across the square and spot Rocco on his way to class. I give him a desperate wave. He blows a kiss and winks at me. Typical Rocco. Just as the villagers begin to thrust their baked goods towards me, I hold my hand out to stop them.
Sirs, you honor me with your gifts, but I see my classmate across the square and I promised him we would walk together. I really must be going now. Please feel free to deliver any samples to my quarters. Thanks.
Villagers pause for a moment, surprised by my outburst. Just in the nick of time, Rocco strolls up, casually sliding between two of the villagers. He gives the group a small wave, puts his arm around my waist, carrying me forward with him.
Well now, there's my beloved classmate. You promised you'd go over my notes with me before a test this morning, and a promise is a promise. Sorry, gentlemen, you'll have to catch up with her another morning.
Rocco and I leave the group behind, with his arm remains firmly around my waist.
Rocco, you can let go now.
Let go? Oh. This?
Just the way he says it. Oh my god. He gives my waist a little squeeze with his hand. Oh, jeez. Threaten him or remove the hand himself? Probably threaten.
Rocco, if you don't remove your hand right now, I'm going to remove it from your body.
Oh, such violence, such ingratitude. Your cruel words cut me deeper than any physical wounds.
Don't get cute with me. You don't get to touch me whenever you want.
Yes, ma'am. I wouldn't be surprised if they came back again tomorrow. You'd better prepare yourself. I won't be around to enact a daring, unappreciated rescue every morning, darling.
I really hope not. I don't want to deal with this every morning. And who said the rescue is unappreciated? It's the execution I have a problem with.
Rocco seems to be looking past me. I turn around and follow his gaze and see some of our village warriors headed in the other direction. We're heavily armed, which is unusual to see in the middle of the village.
Look at that. They must be on their way to see the human boy.
I wonder what they're going to do to him. I hope they don't hurt him.
Oh. Concerned for the human boy's safety, are we?
Of course I am. It would be a crime to let a face and body as pretty as his go to waste.
Are you trying to make me jealous?
Maybe. Is it working?
Darling, you know I don't go in for such ugly displays of emotion, but it was a valiant effort.
Valiant effort.
I'll crack you one of these days, Rocco.
Yes, she will. Oh, man.
Rocco!
Rocco gives Rowan a hearty slap on the back and strolls over to me with a ridiculously exaggerated swagger in his step. Oh, geez.
Looks like the best man won, as we all knew he would. Buck up, darling. Accept your defeat with grace and humility.
He got swag. He's bringing sexy back.
It's her you should be telling to buck up. The poor thing. Imagine making a permanent, life-altering decision with you advising her. It just makes you want to cry.
Enough joking around. Class is still in session. The poor girl doesn't need any more pressure from the lot of you.
His big ride was that one. Ooh. Who said it was big? It was blue, but no one said it was big. Oh, it's so blue. He placed a large hand on my shoulder and gives me an awkward pat. I think he means to assure me. It's rather sweet.
The real choice is in less than 2 weeks. Try to keep an open mind as long as you can.
Thank you, Elder. I will.
As for the rest of you, we'll be practicing elemental defenses again today. Ignatius, you'll be with Lux. And Caspian, you'll be with Rowan.
I mean, they just said it about 1,000,000 times in his route. Lux, he's so large. He's so large. Oh, he's so large. Rocco and I find a space in the
I
corner.
must commend you on your excellent taste, darling. But just to satisfy my curiosity, while you and I both know wind magic is superior, why did you choose to train with me today?
I just wanted to see if you're as good with magic as you are with your hands.
Oh my. Is that appropriate talk for the classroom?
You know, hand-to-hand combat. Oh, I'm sorry. Did you think I meant something else?
Rocco laughs.
Oh, never. Though a man can hope, can't he?
He leans in close and whispers to me. The feel of his breath in my ear sends a tingle down my spine. Oh, no.
Come to my room tonight and I'll be more than happy to show you just how good with my hands I am.
Oh. He gives me his usual cheeky wink. I can feel my face growing hot. How did he turn that one around on me? Serves me right.
Now, on to the reason we're here. Wind magic stands above the other disciplines with its defensive, offensive, and practical capabilities.
Could you give me some examples of each?
Naturally, darling. Everyone knows the offensive capabilities. Strong gusts of wind, whirlwinds. Some of the ancient tribes used to call forth tornadoes to decimate their enemies. Nowadays, that kind of power has been mostly bred out of our people, but you hear stories from some of the more remote villages every now and again.
Could several elementals work together to create one?
Certainly. But they're far too difficult to control once summoned, not worth the collateral damage. Then, of course, there's defensive capabilities. A wall of wind that prevents your enemies from ever reaching you or blows their projectiles wildly off course. Invaluable. And finally, The most practical and my favorite use for wind magic, flight. Wind elementals are the only elementals with the power of flight.
So giving up wind magic would mean giving up flight completely.
Sadly, yes. Other elementals can only dream of flight. But what about you, darling? I've never seen you fly.
Oh, this is embarrassing. But a few years ago, I was kind of high up, and then I got distracted and fell. I haven't really flown since then.
Why don't you give it a try? I'll be here next to you just in case.
I don't know.
Rocco takes a step closer to me and lifts my arm up away from my body.
Don't be nervous. I'll help you. This posture will heighten your awareness of your body. Not necessary as you become more experienced, but best to start at the beginning. Close your eyes and concentrate on the air around your body. Bend it to your will. Command it to carry your body up and off the ground.
I take a deep breath to quell the nerves in my stomach. My heart is beginning to race. It's fine. You'll be fine. Just a few inches off the ground to start with. She's gonna go too high. I close my eyes and concentrate on the space around my body. I can feel a subtle current in the air around me. The natural breeze Rocco's beneath, breathing next to me. Up.
That's it.
That's kind of cute. I've opened my eyes and looked down to see that we've risen about a few feet off the ground.
Oh my goodness!
Hey, focus.
In my excitement, I lose my concentration and begin to plummet. Rocco is there in an instant, throwing his arms around my waist to bring me gently back down with him.
That was wonderful. But you've got to keep your focus when you're in the air, or you'll never get anywhere. The air is a fickle thing, darling. You've got to let it know who's in charge. Once you've gotten a bit more experience, you'll glide through it like it's nothing. That will come with practice.
Well, clearly I'm going to need a lot more practice before I get to your level.
Rocco gives me the most genuine smile I've ever seen from him. It gives me goosebumps.
I'll help you anytime you like.
I'd like that, Rocco.
We'll have to find some time together outside of class.
Is this the real Rocco? The one beneath the smug, simpering smile and sleazy come-ons? He's so beautiful when he smiles like that. Almost as if he can hear my thoughts. Rocco drapes his arm around my shoulders and whispers to me.
There's more than one way to fly. Why don't you come by my room later and let me show you a few things?
Oh, shit. He goes from, like, cute to just smug. Oh,
Oh, thank goodness. You were so sweet and mature earlier. I thought maybe you'd hit your head. There's the Rocco I know.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sweet and mature are two of my best-known qualities.
Don't forget vain and delusional.
True.
If you continue to insult my honor, I shall be forced to defend it.
Just you try it.
It's been a long day. The villagers clamoring for my attention only got worse on my way back. I might need to start taking another route home. Despite everything I've been through the last few days, as I lay down to sleep, I find my thoughts constantly returning to that human boy. I'll never forget the way he looked at me. Get some rest. You don't need that. You don't need to go down that path no more. Mm-mm. I think I need to cut through the square. And this is how I end up on his shortcut, so to say.
Well, we can't have that, can we, Schmoopy Pie?
Schmoopy Pie? What did I just miss that she said Schmoopy Pie? Slings his arm around my shoulders. Rocco, we're going to have to work on our flirting, darling. It seems we're boring, dear Rowan. I throw my arms around Rocco's waist and lay my head on his shoulders. Oh. Yeah, you need to work on that. Rowan's eyes dart back and forth between Rocco and I.
Did I miss something?
Nah, we're just messing with you.
Right. I knew you had better taste than that.
Better taste? Not everyone is as dim-witted and unsophisticated as you are.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, right. I'm the unsophisticated one. Meanwhile, you're throwing yourself at anyone that'll have you.
True. This is kind of weird. Rowan and Rocco usually tease each other with an obvious fondness behind their playful jazz. There's a definite edge this morning to their back and forth. I should probably step in before this goes on for too long.
So, have you guys noticed how many more merchants there are in the village these days?
Oh, yeah. I think it's only going to get worse from here.
Your little speech was quite convincing, but I fear it won't be much help when the new ones arrive tomorrow and in the coming days. After all, the locals will never sit idly by while outsiders are shoving their wares in your face.
You should probably take a different way tomorrow morning. Otherwise, you'll be late.
Oh. Late. Late! We've just been standing here gabbing like idiots. We're going to be late! You'd better fly a lot lower next time. Just who exactly were you showing off for?
It's not showing off when you're just that good. But if you want me to go lower, you'll have to loosen your grip on me next time. Not much motivation to take it easy when you're pressed up so close to me.
You know, Rocco, some guys are able to get close to girls without scaring them half to death.
Oh, I've heard of this. Apparently they charm the girls? Impress them with their looks and personalities?
Something like that.
I'll have to try it sometime. Well, Elder Barasco is just over there. We better head inside. You ready?
Yeah. Thanks, Rocco.
Everyone's favorite elder. Batasco. And this is when we're gonna have a good part. This is gonna be good. This sounds boring. He talks for a while about the details of a battle of whatever that is. But I find myself getting bored. My thoughts drift to Lucerna. With all this craziness lately, the thought of leaving my village behind and being a lone warrior of justice is really appealing, but it seems like it would be a bit lonely. I would miss someone in particular. Rocco. I glance over at him. He looks bored, but he seems to be following Elder Barasco's lecture. Rocco is actually really smart. I never see him studying, but he does a pretty good job at keeping up with Caspian and Lux for the most part. Imagine his potential if he ever used his brain for anything other than devising new ways to hit on people. Goddess, he's just so pretty. If he wasn't so obnoxious, he'd probably have people fawning over him like Caspian does. Then again, his charm is probably the only reason no one runs him out of the village yet. It's hard to stay mad at him. Elder Barasco's voice is monotonous, I close my eyes for just a moment. As I look around the room, I suddenly notice that Rocco is no longer in his seat. I turn around and suddenly he's standing in front of me. He's smiling at me in a way I've never seen before. He looks so gentle and sweet.
What are you doing out of your seat, Sir Rocco? Sit down this instant!
Oh, here we
Sorry,
go.
Elder. But I just can't.
And why not?
This is great. Rocco looks so happy he might cry.
Because, Elder, I'm in love.
Rocco throws his arm around me and presses his face to mine. I feel a single tear run down his cheek. He whispers tenderly to me.
You must forgive me, my darling. I'm simply overwhelmed. I've never felt such a pure emotion.
I've never seen such naked tenderness from Rocco. I'm so moved, I begin to cry myself to tears. Our tears mangle on our cheeks. My face is starting to feel wet. My eyes fly open and I wake up with a start. I really was drooling. How embarrassing. Miraculously, Elder Barasco doesn't seem to have noticed. Once he gets going, he really gets into his lectures. I scroll some notes. I keep myself awake. I think the best daydream out of all of those was Rowan. That was good. Lex and I usually walk home together from class, but with everything that's been going on, oh yeah, then they talk, they
Seems
chat.
like you two have been spending a lot more time together than you used to.
Here we go, jealousy boy.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I'm really enjoying his company a lot more these days. I don't think it's just my hormones talking, but it doesn't hurt that he's really cute.
Well, he is that. But I worry about you getting too close to him.
What do you mean?
Rocco is a fun guy, but is he capable of a serious relationship? Do you know how he feels about marriage? Children? Is he interested in anything other than sex?
We've never really talked about it.
You can certainly find out. It may not even be a problem. All I'm saying is make sure you two are compatible before you get too close. And that he's serious about you.
It probably doesn't even matter anyway. I haven't seen anything from him that would indicate anything deeper. I get a glimpse every now and then, but he always goes right back to the same old Rocco behavior.
Lex puts a massive hand on my shoulder.
Whether it's Rocco or not, whoever you end up with will be a very lucky man. Just be careful in the interim. Take care around your crowd of admirers as well. We hope most of them will be honorable, but the power you represent can drive some elementals to do terrible things.
More dreams in the sky, more dreams in the sky. Aurora. Someone's calling my name, but I can't quite make out their face. The necklace from the ad I was just looking at is all I can see. It shines so brightly, it blinds me. Whoever he is, he must be married. The necklace dims enough to reveal the face of the elemental wearing it.
Rocco!
Oh.
I can't stand it anymore.
Oh. He runs to me and takes my hands in his. He presses his forehead against mine, the traditional stance of an elemental man about to propose marriage.
Say you'll marry me.
Oh, Rocco! I will!
Rocco takes a step back and tenderly presses a marriage band upon my head. It matches his necklace.
My darling.
Right?
You don't know what this means to me.
Oh my god, this guy, just the breathless, the whisper, Rocco to a T. Oh my god, this is great. He puts his arm around my waist and draws me in to him. I'm really going to kiss him this time. Just kidding. Oh. I wake up with my arms wrapped tightly around my pillow.
For the love of...
so angry. I toss the pillow away from me. It bounces harmlessly off the wall and onto the floor. One of these days, I'm going to have that kiss. I guess my brain just doesn't know what it feels like, so it won't let me have it yet. Ugh. That was great. Another morning, another decision. Do I take the faster way through the village square or risk the crowd, or do I take a longer way around and risk being late?
Looks like you could use some assistance.
I turn around to see Rocco standing behind me.
Oh, hello, Rocco.
He bows low and reaches his hand out to me.
We can leave these barbarians behind us in a matter of seconds, sweetness.
Let's do this!
And minigame. Rocco grabs my hand. Oh,
Say, isn't that the tailor whose dress you were admiring yesterday?
Crowd turns as one and follows Rocco's outstretched hand. He seizes the moment to blast straight through the middle of them, dragging me along behind him. And minigame. Let's see what's happening this time. I'm gonna be flying or oh my god, his running stance is amazing. Why are they throwing eggs? Oh my god, this is just pure entertainment. Well, I don't understand. I guess I have to... Oh, there's a person there. Okay, I have to be further away. Jeez. Violent witch. Oh, am I stuck? Okay, there we go. Good. And a shoe! Oh, there's a person there. I didn't see him. Ugh. This is annoying. Jump! Death by shoe. Shoe throwers. Oh. This is long. Oh, there we go. Oh, jeez. Jeez Louise. Ugh, so funny. It was. I liked his little, like, flamboyant little stance he had going on. It was funny. The crowd shouts in surprise. But by the time they realize what's happening, Rocco and I have already gotten clear of them.
Wow, that's the oldest trick in the book. But it actually...
It's a classic for a reason.
We make it to class on time. Okay, I have to use the bathroom and get a phone charger because my phone is dying. It's at 10%. And I need to check Mr. Love because, you know, details. Dun-dun-dun. Whoever invented the fast charger is a true blessing. I love it. Charge. Alright, so going back to class. Class passed by without any major incident. Thank the goddess, it felt like I haven't had a normal day in
Shall we
so
head home?
long.
Actually, there's something I need to do first today. I was going to head over to Sweet William's to get my coming-of-age ceremony dress. So I'll just have to catch up with you later.
Certainly. You'll have to tell me about it tomorrow.
There we go. Didn't go that first time. What would look good with blue skin? Probably the white would look really good. Ugh. I just really like the daring one. Why not? He is wind. It doesn't really do anything for the route itself, but you can get CGs with each version of her in each dress. So you can do like wind and have a CG for her as what she looks like as a wind elemental in the each 3 dresses. So it doesn't really do anything, it just depends on the CG at like the end of the game, essentially. The ability to fly is something other elements can only dream of. There's no way I can give that up willingly. I don't know what's come over me with Rocco lately. He used to drive me insane with his constant innuendos and inability to take anything seriously, but I find myself thinking about him a lot. The idea of him and I together excites me and makes me a bit nervous. But is he serious about me at all? Would I just be another notch in his belt? I am just going to have to ask him myself. Here's hoping I can get him to be serious for once. As I have the last few nights, I drift to sleep and thinking of Rocco. And then now the town is quiet. I still don't get why no one like told her, or like, I don't know. It's just weird to me. So she goes in on the action. I pull the door open and nearly smash right into Rocco, who looks upset to see me.
What are you doing up and out of bed? You were supposed to be in your room. Leave now before it's too late.
I will not! Do you really think I'm going to run back to my room knowing you're out here risking your life for the village? For me?
Rocco opens and closes his mouth a few times, uncharacteristically speechless.
If you have to stay here, at least keep out of sight.
He barely gets the word out before the fighting spills out into the hallway.
Go!
I back up and run outside, pressing myself up against the side of the building. Some 20 human soldiers and elemental warriors come spilling out of the building. The other human men are carrying our human prisoner between them. He looks terrified, but no worse for wear. Otherwise, the fighting is intense. But for some reason, none of the elementals are using magic. Rocco gives me one last stern glance, as if to warn me to stay out of it before returning to the fray. I won't stand by and watch him risk his life for me. I run right up to the first human soldier I can see and blast him with a jet of water. At least I try to, but nothing happens. I try again, but still nothing. Ignatius spots me immediately.
Are you crazy? Get out of here! Our magic isn't working!
Don't draw attention to her, you idiot!
Too late. Several of the human soldiers begin fighting their way through the crowd towards me. Elementals are skilled fighters, but without our magic, we lose the advantage. It's only a matter of time before they reach me. Rocco tries to throw himself in the path of one of the soldiers, but before he can do anything, one of the humans possesses a blade, presses a blade to my throat. Combat ceases in an instant.
Surrender or the girl dies!
Don't concern yourself with her. That girl is worthless to us. If you want someone of value, take me in her place.
Fight some more. Scuffle, 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 scuffle. I don't see any blood. Maybe they're fine. You'll be fine. You'll get out of this somehow. Rocco's here too. Right? You just bombard the town. I glance at him through my... Oh yeah, that's right. They put a sack over her head. Oh, they haven't put it over her head yet. Pervertial vision. His expression is unreadable. Maybe he's thinking the same thing I am. This is the last thought I have before darkness overtakes me. The dungeon. Clap my hands over. Oh. I clap my hands over my mouth and keep from making a sound. Rocco is in the cell next to me and he looks really awful. He sustained several bruises and he seems to either be asleep or unconscious. Please be asleep. I decide to chance a whisper.
Rocco!
No response.
Did you say something?
Just whispering an elemental prayer, sir.
Well, keep it down in there!
He rattles the bars of my cell again. Rocco's close enough that I could reach out and touch him. Reach my hand through the hole and gently stroke his hair. It's a shock to see pretty Rocco in such a state. Poor Rocco, you've never deserved any of this. His eyes flutter and he moans quietly but does not open his eyes. A long stretch of time passes before he awakens. He sits up with a start, looking around wildly. He must have gone down in the middle of the fight.
Where is she? What have you done with her? Quiet!
I reach my hand through the hole, wave desperately, hoping he'll see me without making too much noise. He notices almost immediately. Thank goodness. He lies down and peeks through the hole. When he sees me, the relief on his face is so immense. It makes me feel guilty. I put my finger to my lips and he nods in understanding. I mime sleeping at him and he gives me a quick nod before gathering his own pile of straw and making as if to sleep. He places his face as close to the hole as possible. He taps his ear and points at me. I press my ear in the hole and he cups his hand around his mouth and whispers to me.
Darling, I feared the worst. Did they hurt you?
Well, I'm all right. But what about you? What have they done to you?
As soon as we'd left the village, they knocked you out. A gentleman like myself couldn't let his lady go unavenged.
Oh, Rocco. I'm so sorry.
For what, a few bruises? Tell you what, we'll call it even if I get a thank you kiss out of it.
Let's get out of here first.
And then we can discuss that kiss.
Talk about motivation.
He gives me a tender smile. I'm overcome by the urge to kiss him, but it's impossible here. I reach through the hole and gently stroke his cheek. He takes my hand and presses a kiss into my palm. We lay there in silence for a few minutes, savoring the moment.
We should get some sleep so we'll be ready to make our escape in the morning.
He takes my hand in his. The cell is uncomfortable, but the warmth helps me put me at ease. We fall asleep holding hands through the hole. Aww. So cute. I'm still half asleep, but I can feel Rocco holding my hand through the hole between our cells. He whispers my name, but I am just so tired. I'm not ready to get up. Just another minute.
It's time.
Yeah, it's the guard snoring.
I see. I guess you won't mind then if I just...
Suddenly something warm and wet on my hand. Rocco's tongue. I yanked my hand away and stood up.
What are you doing?
You and I both knew you were awake, darling. Time to discuss our daring escape before our captor there wakes up.
Okay. Well, I was thinking of faking an illness, maybe, to get him into my cell. Then I could overpower him.
Everyone knows that trick. You've got to hit him with something else.
I don't know.
I've got a better idea, but I'll need you to hear me out.
Well, that's a great sign.
Men are base creatures, human and elemental alike. Offer him something no other human male has ever had. The chance to be with a female elemental.
Excuse you? Be with me? You better not be saying what I think you're saying.
Come now, you know it would work. You wouldn't have to actually do anything with him. You just need to get him away from his weapon. Actually, if you could get him in front of the hole, I could grab his legs or the spear.
If this is such a great idea, why don't you do it? It's just gonna fall back to me.
I've never even kissed anyone. How am I supposed to know what to do with this guy?
You aren't actually supposed to have sex with him. Just make him think you will.
Try not to get jealous, so you better appreciate this.
All right. Well, try not to get too jealous listening to us get busy over here.
In the words of the great poet Willem, emotions are for ugly people.
Rude.
Keep telling yourself that.
Truth. Just do whatever.
All right, just get into position and wait until you see his legs. Grab on my signal.
What's the signal?
I'll tell him I've always fantasized about getting with a human. And the signal will be, all my wildest dreams are coming true.
Perfect. Men love to hear things like that.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, jeez. I pile a bunch of straw in front of the hole and approach the bar. The guard snores softly. I mean softly, I'll tell you that much. Laying on his spear for support, I reach for his leg. If I stick my arm through the bars and give his thigh a gentle prod, the guard nearly falls over, jolting out of his sleep. The guard looks around confused. Before his eyes fall on my arms, I beckon to him with my finger.
What do you want? Get your arm back in your cell before I...
Put my finger on my lip and indicate the other cell. With my head, Rocco lets out a massive snort as if on cue. Conquistador. The guard looks confused. He crouches down and puts his face near the bars. He lowers his voice.
What do you want?
I lean in as close as I can.
This is probably going to sound crazy, but I've always wanted to get with a human man. Nobody's around, and my friend over there is asleep. Why don't you come in here and keep me company?
We can't. You're a prisoner. I'm a guard.
Who's going to find out? I won't tell if you won't.
Cheeky.
Come on. A chance like this only comes around once in a lifetime.
Maybe we could just do it through the bars?
Oh no! Rocco makes a noise almost like a snore, if suppressed laughter, but I hear him turn it into an exaggerated snore. If we live through this, I'm going to kill him.
Oh no, honey. I need you in here with me. I just want to be close to you.
Yeah. I reach out for the guard's face and gently caress his cheek with the tip of my finger. The stubble on his face feels unpleasantly rough. He exhales loudly and stands up and begins unlocking his cell.
You try any funny business.
He waves his spear at me.
Me? Never. All I want is you, baby.
Oh, jeez. My words seem to motivate him because he rushes in and slams the door shut, locking us in together. He surges towards me and his lips purred, still awkwardly clenching his spear in one hand. I turn my head so that his lips meet my cheek. Gross.
So eager. What a naughty guard you are.
Oh yeah? What are you gonna do about that, baby?
I grab the guard and shove him against the wall, shared by my cell and Rocco's. One leg is just in front of the hole. Don't let me down, Rocco.
Ooh, you elemental girls like it rough, don't you?
It takes every bit of self-control to not punch him in the nose. I take a deep breath, then grab him by the back of the head and mush his face into my chest, throwing my head back and say loudly,
All my wildest dreams are coming true.
Shit, mine too. Hey, what?
I let go of the guard and step back. He face plants into the ground, sending his spear clattering against the wall. I grab the spear and point it at him.
Roll over and keep your hands where I can see them. Do it slowly. Nice work, Rocco.
So, you weren't really into me?
Oh, now he's sad.
Sorry, no.
I kick the guard's keys through the hole over to Rocco's cell. I hear him unlock his cell door, and not a moment later he saunters over, opening mine.
I guess it was too good to be true.
Save your whining for someone who cares. You're going to answer my questions, or else you get this spear down your throat.
Jeez, all right. You already humiliated me. I can't go any lower, right?
True.
Don't challenge me, human. You can't even imagine all the ways I can ruin your life.
Probably, yeah. Should probably do a lot.
Ease up, darling. You've already got him.
Whatever. Tell me how they're suppressing our magic.
We found this necklace in some old elemental ruins a while back. Our shaman figured out at some point it can be used to interfere with elemental magic. We don't really know much else about it, though.
Where can we find this necklace now?
The shaman never seems to take it off, so probably somewhere in the temple.
And just where is this temple?
It's a huge blue building on a hill at the north end of the village. Columns and a great flame that never goes out. You'll know it when you see it. You can't miss it.
Thanks. You've been extremely helpful.
What happens now?
You'll have to ask someone else.
I give a solid crack over the head with the spears, but...
Nice work, darling.
That guy almost stole my first kiss from me. You better be grateful.
Oh, I am. I'm looking forward to showing you my gratitude later.
Don't get too excited. We've got to get out of here first. Well then, I guess we should get out of here before someone finds him.
Agreed.
Just stay close, okay?
With pleasure.
I slowly creak the door open, then peek around the corner. No sign of anyone.
Looks like it's clear. Let's go.
Lead the way.
Rocco and I make our way out into the hallway. We step into the hall with a huge window in one wall. Rocco sneaks over to the corner and takes a peek around, but seeing no one, he wanders over to the window and nudges the shutters open carefully.
We should probably just climb out the window. We can't risk going down the stairs and running into them.
What, we're just going to climb down a sheer wall?
There should be footholds. Besides, did you have a better idea?
No.
I'll go first to make sure it's safe.
What if you fall? I'm supposed to just watch you slide down the wall and die?
How could I possibly die with you on my side? My sweet little fountain of positivity. Just stay close and help me back up if it starts looking bad for me.
Okay.
Rocco pushes the shutters open and carefully climbs down. I lean out the window after him, but he waves his hand at me.
There's a nice safe ledge here, and we're not too far up. We should be able to climb down from here without too much trouble.
I guess this'll work, but we've got to stay out of sight as much as possible. Let's climb down here and stick to the shadows.
Rocco holds me onto the ledge, shutting the window above us quickly. We climb down the side of the building to the ground and make our way across the village. It's slow going, but soon we find ourselves on solid ground in the thankful empty streets in the middle of the night. We play it safe, darting from building to building and hiding in the shadows wherever we can. After some time, the buildings become sparser and our surroundings greener. After some time, we finally arrive at the farm, a good distance away from the building where we were held captive. We rest for a moment in the cornfield. The unharvested stalks provides us with a natural hiding space. Yeah. You usually run into a human boy at this point who lives on the farm, and he's kind of adorable.
We need to find that temple. That artifact is a danger to us and the village. We can't leave here without neutralizing it somehow.
It's a miracle that we escaped it all. You really want to dive headfirst into all that again?
What other choice do we have? We can't let that artifact continue to be used against our people. goddess only knows the sort of power it contains. It could kill us all. What good does it do us to get home now if we don't ensure the safety of our village?
All right. But I expect my incredible heroism to be rewarded with a kiss when this is all over with.
We'll see.
We'll see? So you're saying there's a chance?
He gives me a cheeky wink, and though I roll my eyes, I can't help but laugh. Even now, he really never turns it off. That wink, though.
But really, how do we even know where this temple is?
We should have a look from the top of the barn. We can get a better view from up there.
I'll go. You stay here.
What? Why?
No sense risking both of us, and I can't go back to the village without you. Just sit tight. Perhaps imagine how glorious I'll look climbing the barn. Muscles bulging, hair flowing in the wind.
Oh my god.
Rocco, just go already.
Muscles bulging. What kind of muscles?
I'll be back before you know it. Try not to miss me too much, darling.
He puckers his lips into the air, into an air kiss, and disappears into the cornfield. I sit down and rest my feet for a moment. My mind starts to wonder that Rocco might be doing, and the image of him climbing a barn springs into mind. I shake my head, trying to clear the visual of my mind's eye. A few moments pass, and I hear what I hope is Rocco rustling through the cornfield. It isn't shit. A young human boy bursts clumsily through the corn and steps dead in his tracks when he sees me. We stare at each other, unsure of what to do.
You're one of them. But you're a girl. What are you doing here?
Just at that moment, Rocco comes crashing through the crop, first fist at the ready. When he sees the young boy in front of me, his guard lowers.
Whoa! There's more of you! How many of you are there here?
Rocco lowers his voice just above a whisper and motions the boy to come closer. After a moment of hesitation, the boy obeys.
Keep it down, kid. I've got 50 of my best men out there, and they're just itching for a fight. They don't know you're out here, and I think it's best if we keep it that way.
But what are you guys doing here? You're not supposed to be here. I should tell my parent.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, there's no need for all that. What's your name, son?
Son.
Josiah.
Oh, this is the first time we know his name.
Josiah, my boy. Have you ever dreamed of something beyond this farm life?
Sometimes. I like it here, but I've heard there's magic and dragons and stuff outside our village.
All that and more, my friend.
But what?
I'm getting to that. You know we're magical creatures ourselves, don't you?
Can you do some magic for me?
Sadly, no.
Boy husks out a disappointment little sigh.
I'm just as disappointed as you are about it, chum. The truth is, we're here to take our magic back. Not just for us, but for the whole world.
What do you mean?
There's an artifact around here that's blocking our magic. And if we don't have any magic, then there's no more dragons, no more heroes, no more stories. No wonder left in the world. We can't let that happen.
No way!
I knew I spared you for a reason. Such a smart kid. So listen, if we're gonna restore the world's magic, we need your help.
Me? I can help?
You sure can. First, I need you to keep our appearance here between us. It might shock you to know this, but not everyone understands how vital magic is to the world.
Boy nods vigorously.
Second, my friend and I here are in need of a good disguise. My men are all painted up like cornstalks, but we ran out of paint. What can you give us?
We have some coveralls and hats, but Mom and Dad would probably notice those are missing. Maybe...
The boy goes running off through the corn, trailing off mid-sentence.
Nice work there. Did you see the temple?
Yeah, it's on a hill beyond the farmland here.
Great. You can lead the way when your new friend gets back.
Boy comes crashing back through the brush, dragging floral patterned sheets behind him.
Here, you can make a great disguise out of these.
Good thinking. I'll just turn these so the pattern's on the inside. Wrap you up like so.
Watch those hands.
If you're trying to look like a pilgrim, you're supposed to cover your hair, too.
Good call. I'll just tuck this bit in here and... there we are. What do you think, Josiah?
She looks okay, I guess.
Just okay?
I'm afraid we don't have time for perfect. Let me just get myself together, and we'll be off.
Rocco puts his hand on the boy's shoulder.
I won't forget what you've done for us today. I shall put in a good word for you with the dragons.
Thank you. Good luck out there.
Thank you. And don't forget.
Rocco puts a finger to his lips and gives the boy away as the boy nods vigorously and waves to us as he disappears through the massive corn stalks.
Really, though? The dragons?
Right?
I'll just tell dear old Iggy about Josiah's assistance today. That should be close enough.
You're awful, you know.
You love it.
He takes my hand in his and we set off together. I know. I'm not sure why. I don't know how you get Iggy out of Ropen, but you know. Oh, no, it's Ignatius. That's right. Duh. I'm slow today, apparently. We look up at the temple. The architecture is alien and intimidating. It feels so much colder and less welcoming than any elemental space of worship. The place seems like it was built to show a power rather than a place for prayer and healing.
No point in keeping these silly disguises on at this point. They won't do us any good in here.
I suppose you're right.
Yo. Strip. Rocco and I abandon our disguise and stash them behind a nearby shrub.
Hang on. Are you feeling that?
Yeah. Some kind of magical energy. Do you think it's that necklace?
Here I was hoping it was the raw sexual chemistry between you and I.
Rocco.
Kidding. Mostly. But yeah, it has to be. Humans aren't capable of producing something like that. Some of their priests have limited magical powers here and there, but nothing on that level. If we focus on it, we should be able to track the source of it.
How's that?
Magic is in our blood. Something that disruptive is easier for us to feel when we're this close to it. It'd be easy normally, but since my magic is blocked, my perception is a bit weaker. So I'll need your help to amplify it. So please, touch me. I need you.
He holds his hands out to me, palms up, and gives me an obnoxious wink.
You better savor this moment. It's the most you're going to get for a very long time.
I'm a patient man. But for now, please concentrate.
Patient, my butt. You don't seem patient. I don't know if this is going to work, but here goes nothing. I place my hands on top of his, willing myself to focus on that intense power, steering my mind away from the distraction of Rocco's hands and on mine, or the fear of being caught and thrown back in the tower dungeon, or worse. Focus.
That'll do it. It's in the back somewhere.
I feel like I could have told you that.
True.
And yet, you didn't. Shall we, darling?
Can we really just go in?
Don't see why not.
We gather up our courage and enter the temple. I can't help but shiver as I walk through the archway. He is. Right, at least they're not in barrels this time. He's one parched man. Blah blah blah.
What do we do?
I don't suppose we can talk our way out of this one. And attacking him is out of the question. We can't lose the element of surprise.
Besides that, it's wrong to attack someone in the middle of their worship. And it would make things even worse between our people.
Monk opens his eyes and looks right at us, still muttering a silent prayer. Walk right up to the fountain and kneel next to the monk. The monk regards me curiously, never ceasing from his prayer. I bow my head and recite an old elemental prayer before returning to Rocco. The monk glances at us a moment longer, then turns back to the fountain, closes his eyes, losing himself in his devotion.
I thought love was the universal language, but perhaps it's prayer. Well done, darling.
Thanks, Rocco. It seemed like the right thing to do. Let's just go, please, before someone else decides to join him.
Rocco and I enter a long hallway lit by flickering torches. Where the last room was beautiful and almost inviting. This hallway is opposite in every way. The temple has been quiet up to this point, but the silence is eerie and uncomfortable here. There are several doors along either side of the dimly lit corridor, but Rocco leads us past all of them, stopping at a massive door at the end of the hallway.
This is it. The necklace should be somewhere on the other side of this door. Get ready.
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
I nod at Rocco and give him a curt smile as if to reassure me or himself before slowly pulling the doors open. As the The doors swing open. A shiver runs down my spine. I feel an awful tense of foreboding. It reminds me of how I felt the morning of the human attack on our village. The doors open to reveal a lavishly decorated room. Blah, blah, blah. Rocco and I look at each other for a moment. We can't confer right now. I make my way to the bed without waiting for Rocco's reaction. I can feel his distress, but we don't have time for anything else. I step lighter than I ever have. My heart hammering in my chest. I hold my breath and stretch my hand out towards the gem, inch by painful inch. Could it really be this easy? We'll just take it and go. Oh! Just as my hand is about to reach the necklace, the shaman's eyes fly open. The necklace cracks to life. He sits straight up in his bed and extends his hand towards me, hurling a bolt of energy at me. I don't even have time to react. I brace myself for pain, but before I know it, I am on the floor. I look up to see Rocco behind me. He must have thrown me out of the way. He catches the brunt of the blast, and it knocks him to the ground, leaving him clenching at his chest and gasping for breath. The shaman jumps out of his bed and takes aim at Rocco again, but I can't let that happen. In desperation, I jump forward to make a grab for the necklace. My fists close around the immense jewel, and then... blinding white hot pain. My body goes rigid, and my own screaming fills my ears. My eyes roll back into my head, and I can't see anything for a moment. But while the pain is intense, underneath it there's a massive power like nothing I've ever felt before. The energy surge feels like an eternity, but it only lasts a few moments. I open my eyes and see the shaman preparing to blast me. I smash my free hand into his face and hold on as tightly as I can. Wave after wave of elemental magic flow through my hand and into the shaman, battering his body. He crumples to the ground, seemingly unconscious. As he falls, the chain on the necklace shatters, leaving its broken remnants in my hand. I fall to my knees and catch my breath for a moment, trying to compose myself. I look over to where Rocco is laying on the ground. He looks pretty bad. I crawl over to him, necklace in hand.
Rocco! Are you alright?
At least he had the good sense to miss my beautiful face. Did you get the necklace?
I look at the necklace in my hand. Somehow the chain appears to have repaired itself. I throw the necklace on, deciding not to question it for now. With that settled, I help Rocco to his feet, throwing his arm over my shoulder to support him.
Well, we got the necklace. Shame we won't get to enjoy it. Every human within half a mile is probably on their way over here. If I weren't so weak, I could just fly us back.
Maybe I can.
No offense, darling, but you're not the strongest flyer. Carrying us both and overcoming your fear of heights is quite a tall order.
We have nothing to lose at this point, so I'm going to try something.
Close my eyes and concentrate, ignoring the rising wave of anxiety in my chest. We need a way home, something to help us find our way back. Quickly and safely, the amulet sends waves of magic power humming through my body, and I give myself over to it entirely. I open my eyes and see a cloud, a little fluffy cloud, a little cloud partner, a little cloud, a perfectly fluffy and strangely corporal cloud floats a foot above the ground in front of us.
Did you summon this?
Yes? Don't question this, just go with it.
I hurry forward and climb up on the cloud, helping Rocco up behind me. Amazingly, it doesn't disintegrate beneath
Wind magic
us.
doesn't work this way. This is incredible.
I blast a hole in the ceiling, sending chunks of tiles everywhere in every direction. I will the cloud upward, and miraculously it responds, rising forward into the air as several monks come streaming in through the doorway. They gap at us as we fly away. A less mature elemental might be tempted to leave them with a rude gesture. Well, everyone's favorite part, rude gesture. On a fluffy cloud. The temptation is too great to resist, and I flash them the most vulgar gesture I know. Rocco laughs weakly behind me.
Now, where did a nice girl like you learn such a rude gesture? But sure, why not?
He joins me. It's the best part. It's one of the best parts. The cloud floated smoothly along at my before finally landing in an open clearing. Rocco is uncharacteristically quiet. Finally, I can feel Rocco stirring against my shoulder.
What?
We're going to rest here for a little while. We're in the forest on the way home.
I carefully ease Rocco off my shoulder and climb off the cloud. As I help him down, I have a look at him. He doesn't look any better than when we left. The cloud vanishes into the ether. I have to recall it when we're ready to go. I hold my hand out towards the patch of grass and help it grow into a nice soft bed. I guide a still groggy Rocco over to it and help him lie down.
Just relax. We're safe here for now.
Thank the goddess this happened before my coming of age ceremony. I'm going to need every element to help us get home safely. First, I need to take care of Rocco. He's not going anywhere like this. I inspect Rocco there. Just above his heart, a nasty magical burn. My chest feels tight. He was protecting me. This never would have happened if it weren't for me.
This is probably going to hurt. I'm so sorry for the pain.
I take his hand in mine and place the other hand as tenderly as I can on his burned area. I can feel his body contorting under my touch already. This is not going to be easy. I clear my mind and concentrate on mending his body, muscles, tissue, organs. Rocco screaming cuts through my thoughts like a knife. His hand jerks in mine, twisting itself into a horrible shape with each spasm of pain. I squeeze my eyes shut and bow my head into my chest, telling myself to ignore the sound and tortured movements of his hand. Heal him, just get him through this. After some time, Rocco's hands relax and the screaming stops. His breathing is labored, but the burn has all but disappeared from his chest. A small scar remains. Even with this amulet amplifying my power, it's not quite enough to counteract that magic. He's going to need some time to rest. As I think back to my magic lessons, Lux's voice echoes in my head.
Experienced users of light magic can heal even the most devastating wounds, but magic will only take you so far. The body must still rest and heal itself. Magic can only speed up the healing process. It can't bypass it.
I brush Rocco's hair off his forehead. It's now beaded with sweat. I'm so sorry this happened to you. No better time than the present to have a quick look around. This location will do, but I'll need to make it a bit safer. I should be able to grow the trees together so that they hide us, but I ought to forage first. Rocco will need food and fresh water. I grow the grass Grow. I grow the grass around Rocco just high enough to hide him from prying eyes. I probably shouldn't be too long, though this might hide him from humans, but animals won't be fooled by a bit of grass. Find a river. A few minutes walk from the makeshift campsite. That shore must be part of the Elmas River. My geography has never been very good, but it's the only major river around our village and theirs. After some searching, I find some mushrooms, blackberries, and chestnuts. Not bad at all. We can roast the chestnuts over the fire. Some warm food should do Rocco a lot of good. Food in hand, I hurry back to the clearing. Rocco sleeps peacefully behind the wall of grass, seemingly unaware I've ever left. I gather some kindling. Chestnuts on an open fire. I know, I always thought about that. Christmas, oh my god. Christmas is really not that far away, is it? It's the end of July. It's like 4 months away. Holy crap. I gather some to build a fire. Thankfully, magical flames are virtually smokeless. I build a nest of stones over the fire and arrange the chestnuts within to roast. I step back for a moment and admire my handiwork. Not bad at all. I sit by the fire and keep a watch on Rocco and our chestnuts. A few hours later, I hear Rocco rustling around, so I set the chestnuts in my hand aside and peek at him through the curtain of grass.
Where are we?
Right?
Just a little patch of forest between the villages. How are you feeling?
Never better, darling.
Lies. He starts to sit up and reconsiders, rubbing at his chest.
But if it's all the same, I might just stay here. Beauty rest and all.
Here, let me help you. You need to eat something. Don't make a big deal out of this.
Make a big deal out of what?
I kneel behind him and carefully prop his head against my lap. Rocco doesn't even say anything. He just gives me the most wolfish smile he can manage in his current state.
I mean it, Sir Rocco.
Sir Rocco, eh? I must really be in trouble.
I stuff a shelled chestnut in his mouth.
Don't take this any sort of way. I know you. Your pervy little mind must be going a mile a minute right now trying to think of some clever thing to say.
Rocco speaks around mouthfuls of food.
First you try to choke me with food, then you insult me while I'm in this vulnerable state.
I swear to the goddess, if you don't close your mouth while you're eating, I'm going to leave you here to fend for yourself.
Rocco finishes his food and gives me a wink.
That may be an empty threat. I think I'm feeling well enough to sit up now.
I give him some space and he slowly sits up, stretching as he does so.
Yes, much better, though still not great. I could have done without the threats and insults, but you're not the worst nurse I've ever had. Thank you.
Don't thank me. You wouldn't have been in this mess if it weren't for me.
Oh, that's true, isn't it? Go on then, thank me.
He trails off mid-sentence as his eyes fall upon the fire behind us.
Magical fire?
Yeah, so?
After all we've been through together, you're thinking of choosing fire?
Sorry, Rocco. Wind magic just isn't enough for me. I'm a woman with needs, you know. Wind magic really just leaves me feeling cold.
Sounds like you're doing it wrong. Come closer, and I'll show you just how warm I can be.
Oh, there he is.
How warm you can be. I was talking about magic, Rocco.
Isn't that what I said? But in all seriousness, what are we still doing here? How are we getting back?
We'll head back soon, but you aren't fit to travel right now.
I feel fine. There's no need to stay here any longer.
I'm not taking any chances. That was some powerful magic, and we don't know if you're fully healed. It might have some side effects that haven't manifested yet, and I do not want to be in the air when that happens. We've got a massive head start on them, and this is a nice little setup we have here. I want to keep an eye on you for tonight, and then we'll leave tomorrow.
You know, if you want to spend the night out here alone with me, all you have to do is say so.
Oh, Rocco. Please, please spend the night with me.
Rocco closes his eyes as though he's savoring the moment.
Well then, since you asked so nicely.
Really now, I want you to take it easy, okay? There's a nice calm stretch of river nearby if you'd like to have a bath.
Rocco's eyes twinkle with their usual spark at the sound of that.
A bath would be delightful. Shall I go now then?
Sure, we can take turns. The river's just a few minutes east of here.
Got it.
Oh, goddess, I know that look.
It's just a shame someone has to be here to keep watch over our little campsite.
Let me guess. Otherwise, we could go take a bath together.
Clever girl.
Yep.
Not happening, not a shame. Bye.
Rocco opens his mouth to say something, but I talk over him.
Enjoy your bath, Rocco.
Well then, back soon.
He hurries off in the forest in the direction of the river. I sit by the fire, turning the day's events over in my mind. As more time passes, I can't help but wonder how Rocco is doing. It's been almost an hour. It only takes a few minutes to get in the river, get back. Could something have happened to him? What if he collapsed along the way? Or worse, I have to go check on him. I set off for the river as quickly as I can, looking for signs of Rocco all along the trail. No signs, trouble yet. As I get closer to the river, my heart beats faster and faster. Please let it be alright. I can hear a loud splashing as I burst through the tree line and come upon the river where I find everyone's second favorite CG after the vulgar gesture. At least for me. Ah, damn leaves! What the hell? Perfectly placed. Thanks. Why is Rocco, naked as the day he was born, I'm floored with a mix of feelings, relief that he's alright, confusion as to why he's taken so long, and appreciation for the male form in front of me. His back is to me, so he hasn't seen me yet, but for some reason, my legs won't work anymore. All I can do is stare. As if on cue, Rocco turns to see me ogling at him. He rolls around and whisks his hair over his shoulder, striking a ridiculous pose.
See something you like?
Oh.
I
suddenly remember the reason I came here and tear my eyes away from him.
I didn't come here to peek at you. It's been almost an hour. I was worried about you. I thought something might have happened.
I was just enjoying the feeling of the water. But how kind of you to worry about little old me.
There's nothing little about you.
My. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you were coming on to me.
I'm just waiting for you to get out.
Lies.
Well then, don't let me keep you waiting any longer.
Rocco steps out of the river and walks past me, holding his clothes in his arms. Still completely nude. I look away, but it's too late. I've seen everything. I can feel my cheeks burning. Damn it, Rocco. I make certain Rocco has disappeared entirely before undressing and taking my turn in the river. I can't blame Rocco for taking his time here. This really feels wonderful after all we've been through. I lay back and feel my hair pooling around me and the cool, clear water. I can't believe everything that's happened and that we've made it out of there in mostly one piece. Rocco put his life on the line for me more than once. I need to make sure I think him properly, and I want to talk to him about how he feels about me. I know we're attracted to each other, but I don't want to just be I just don't want to be another conquest for him. But I'll worry about that when I get back. I sink under the surface of the water, clearing my mind of any further thought. I return to the cooling to find Rocco sitting by the fire. He smirks at me. Oh, goddess, here we go.
Have a nice bath, did you?
Yeah, I can't really blame you for taking your time.
Funny. I could say the same for you.
I'm never going to live that down, am I?
Not a chance.
I throw some of the leftover chestnuts from earlier in the day onto the makeshift rock grill to roast them before I join Rocco by the fire. The gem around my neck catches the firelight, and I can see Rocco looking at it.
You've been walking around with that thing on your neck, but we have no idea what it does.
Yeah, we'll have to take it to the elders straight away when we get back. At the very least, they can keep it from getting into human hands again.
When we get back, everything's going to change. Kidnapping you is unforgivable.
Well, we did take their chief's son prisoner.
He was in our territory in violation of our agreement. They were wrong.
I know, but we haven't been good to them either. It's just a complicated situation.
Enough about that. This might be our last peaceful night. There's something we should discuss.
I'm listening.
Rocco slides in closer.
There's something between us here. I know you feel it too.
I do.
But
I have a lot going on, Rocco. I'd be lying to myself and to you if I didn't admit I'm attracted to you. But the entire village looks at me like I'm some glittering treasure for them to covet and fight over.
Rocco flips his hair out of his face and makes a dismissive sound.
I suppose you think I'm one of those men, do you?
I'm not saying you are or you aren't, Rocco. I just want you to know where I'm coming from.
Do you really think I'd be here with you right now if you were another notch in my belt? Have I ever been the type to prioritize duty? Do you think I came all this way because I was afraid of our village losing its only female? Did you ever think, perhaps, that I might have found someone I considered worthy of something more than just my affection?
He grabs my hand and presses it to his chest. I can feel the scar from his wound beneath my fingers.
I thought you might be killed. More than once. You have no idea the thoughts that ran through my mind. Do you think I risked my life getting this scar just to sleep with you?
Rocco.
What?
Never seen him so angry. Aww. They cute. I pull him in toward me with my free hand and crush my mouth against his. My actions catch him off guard, leaving him stunned for a moment before he manages to recover and kiss me back. I can feel his heart racing in his chest beneath my hand. When I finally pull away from him, his eyes are closed, as though he's still caught up in the moment.
Sorry, what? Could you repeat that, please? I'm not quite sure I got your meaning just now.
I lean in again, but this time Rocco reaches me first. His lips are so soft and sweet on mine. Aww. But there's something hidden beneath his kiss, as though he's holding himself back. He smiles. The smile he gives me when we pull apart makes me feel like I might melt. It sends an outrageous warmth spreading through my core. Oh.
As amazing as that was, that's probably enough excitement for you tonight. You're supposed to be resting.
I was going to kiss you first, you know. I had it all planned out.
You can't plan those moments, Rocco.
Not with you, I can't. You really keep me on my toes.
Good. Heaven forbid you get too comfortable. Seriously, though, you're still resting, so please try to get some sleep if you can. Your body could use it.
Yep. Ah, my battery's running low on my controller. Wah, wah, wah. Plug that in. Where'd you go in? What is happening? Here we go.
My body could really use something else right now.
Keep up that back talk and your body won't be using anything for a long time.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Rather than returning to the bed I made him, Rocco lays his head in my lap. Aww.
Rock.
I'm going to sleep, just like you asked.
All right.
I've never seen him look so peaceful. I watch him until his breathing becomes even and uncertain. He's asleep. We spend the rest of the evening together by the fire. Fire. I wake to find myself on the bed of grass I had created for Rocco, covered by a mysterious blanket of some sort. I must have fallen asleep at some point. Upon closer inspection, it appears to be Rocco's vest. Aww. He actually gave me the shirt off his back. How sweet. It smells like him. I stood up to see Rocco in the middle of some particularly intense stretches. I had no idea he was so flexible. I guess he's feeling better.
Rocco?
At the sound of my voice, Rocco turns to me mid-stress and gives me a wave. He finishes up and jumps to his feet.
Good morning, love. Hope you slept well.
Really well, actually. Thanks for this. Here you go.
They say the most restful sleep is in the arms of your lover. But I couldn't very well keep watch from behind the grass, so I compromised.
The arms of your lover, huh? Is that what we are?
Don't get so hung up on the details, darling. Just enjoy it.
Whatever you say. So, how are you feeling this morning?
Never better. I'm ready to go whenever you are. But if you want to stay out here just one more night, I won't say no either.
As tempting as that sounds, we really need to get back. The whole village must be going nuts looking for us.
Then summon that cloud again and let's be off.
All right. Let's see.
I drew up the image of the cloud in my mind, focusing energy through the gem. A few moments later, the cloud flashes in front of us once again.
Even the elders can't manage something like this. Amazing. Well then, after you.
I step up onto the cloud and Rocco follows behind me. He wraps his arms around my waist and buries his face in my cheek. Aww.
What are you doing back there? I need to concentrate.
I'm just holding on so I don't fall off.
I slap a wandering hand.
Rocco, if those hands wander any further north, you're walking home.
Rocco laughs.
You know I can fly, right? But have it your way, darling.
Cloud slowly rises into the air, carrying us above the treetops. Mia. Just a few hours from the village, I can see what appears to be a regiment of elemental warriors from our
Rocco,
village.
look there!
Elementals. They must be coming for us.
Think of the impact of our disappearance must have had on the village. It makes my stomach churn.
What are you waiting for? Take us down.
I think maybe we should ditch our ride. We can talk to the elders about it, but I don't want to freak anybody out about the necklace if we don't have to.
That's fair.
I circle around and land us some distance back. As soon as Rocco and I have disembarked, I dismiss the cloud and it winks out of existence. A few minutes later, I hear a shout and two young scouts come running through the forest, abandoning all pretense at discretion.
It's them! They're all right!
Hurrah! The other scouts running back, and a few minutes later we're surrounded by about a dozen or so of the village's finest warriors. They thump Rocco on the back and lift me onto their shoulders. After a few moments of celebration, the leader instructs the shoulders.
How did you manage to escape?
Where will you go from here?
We were coming to negotiate for your release. But now that you've escaped and taken this artifact, there is sure to be a reprisal. We must go ahead to ensure that our village will be protected. We must let them know this will not be tolerated.
I'm not sure if that's a good idea. If our people clash again, there's no avoiding war between our villages. If I could just speak to the elders and maybe we can come up with some diplomatic resolution. We can't keep this up forever.
I beg of you to return to the village with us now. Rocco and I are fine. There's no longer any need to endanger the lives of our men. We must tread carefully. One wrong move could ignite a war between our people that could last for generations. But if it gives you comfort, perhaps you could send half the men simply to scout ahead for any human reprisals.
To my surprise, the leader simply agrees with me. He gives me a curt nod and signals to his men to get going.
Move out.
Rocco leans in to whisper to me.
Not that I don't find you utterly irresistible, but wasn't that a bit too easy? I expected a bit more.
Resistance.
Right.
Something here doesn't add up.
Yes, actually. I wonder what that was about.
He gives me one last hug, wisps his eyes, and takes off through the crowd. I look over at Rocco. The crowd has lifted him onto their shoulders. He's smiling, but his expression tells me his mind is clearly elsewhere.
Rocco! Meet me in the council hall when you get a moment.
Rocco nods. Hopefully he can extract himself soon. The nerves in my stomach give way to butterflies as I see Rocco come jogging up the path. At least I won't be doing it alone.
Sorry for the wait, darling. Never good form to disappoint a crowd of admirers.
Don't worry about it. I'm just so glad you're here with me.
Of course. I couldn't let you face them on your own.
Wraps his arms around me and sneaks a quick kiss on my
Don't
cheek.
you worry that pretty head of yours.
Thank you.
The elders will know exactly what to do.
I sure hope so.
My father sits next to Elder Glenn. He passes the two empty seats next to him. Rocco and I take our place before the council.
Thank you for joining us so quickly, despite the ordeal you must have faced. Sir Rocco, your bravery in the face of an unknown danger and service to our village and your people shall not be forgotten. You will receive a special commendation at the coming-of-age ceremony next week.
Thank you, Elder.
I am ashamed to admit I assumed Sir Rocco had rescued you. It seems that without you, Sir Rocco would not be here with us today. Please look forward to your own commendation at the coming-of-age ceremony next week.
That is not entirely true, Aberforth. She has seen more of the human village than anyone in this room.
There's something else we need to discuss.
Pretty much. I did it myself. Indicates the necklace around my neck.
Their shaman was using this to block our magic.
It seems to amplify magic as well. I was able to use it to do some pretty amazing things.
It must be studied immediately. Please, give it to my page.
Absolutely.
I go to pull the necklace over my head, but it won't move. Panic rises in my chest. I yank the necklace, but it's as if it's made of lead.
What are you doing?
It won't move. I can't take it off.
Let me try.
We shall simply have to study this artifact with your assistance. But we'll need you to come with us immediately so we can ensure it is not harming you.
Rocco rises to his feet immediately.
I should come with you.
No. We cannot have you in our way.
So rude.
We appreciate your concern, but I assure you we will take care of her.
As they lead me away, I notice Papa giving Rocco a suspicious, searching glance.
Don't worry, Rocco. It hasn't hurt me so far. I'll come find you after. I promise.
If you say so.
Aww.
We can wait together, Sir Rocco. We should chat.
Oh, certainly.
I exit the council hall. A few hours later, no worse for wear. To my surprise, Rocco is leaning against the wall next to the door. As soon as he sees me, he runs over and looks me up and down.
Well?
They said it seems like it's okay for now, but I'm gonna have to keep reporting in for tests, and they gave me this.
I hold up a scroll of parchment.
I'm gonna have to record some things for them.
Such as?
You know, certain measurements, strange happenings, and so on.
Certain measurements? Oh, sometimes it's just too easy. Speaking of measurements, have you finished your preparations for your coming-of-age ceremony?
Oh, goddess, don't remind me. I'm not even close to done with my planning. But is it really okay for me to be worrying about that right now? We're on the brink of war.
Absolutely, darling. If the village sees you carrying on as though nothing is wrong, it will give them the courage to do the same.
I guess that's a good point.
Of course it's a good point. Did you forget who you were talking to?
He tosses his hair back and gives me a cheeky wink.
How could I ever forget? Anyway, I guess I should go choose my cake. You want to come with me?
Sweets and my sweet? How could I say no?
Come on then.
Don't mind if I do.
He reaches for a pile of cakes, but Magnus slaps his hand away.
Those are for the lady.
No need to resort to violence.
I don't mind sharing.
How generous.
Magnus glares at Rocco, who smirks at him and starts on the cake sample in front of us.
Anyway,
He's so upset.
perhaps you'd like to have a look at some of these designs. I thought we might incorporate each of the elements into your cake to celebrate your decision. Unless you've thought about what you might choose.
Rocco looks at me with great interest.
I thought I'd keep it a surprise until the ceremony.
How boring.
There's nothing like a dramatic reveal. Perfect!
Exactly. So I think having all the elements present is wonderful.
Rocco scoffs.
You'll just have to wait like everyone else.
Perfection.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
I shall begin preparations at once. Please look forward to seeing the real thing in a week's time. All I need to know is which flavor cake you liked best.
I squint, deep in thought.
Strawberry lemon.
Excellent choice.
I'd have preferred raspberry vanilla.
Well, it wouldn't be the worst choice you could make, but I don't think it's right for an occasion like this.
Ah, well, what the lady wants, the lady gets.
Well, thank you so much, Magnus. I can't wait to see and taste the cakes in a week.
My pleasure.
That was a cute little cake design you chose. Well done.
Thank you, Rocco. I can't wait to see how the cake looks and tastes.
Well, as delightful as it was watching you eat cake, I should probably go take care of some things.
Yeah, I should do the same. See you later.
I'll be in my room later if you need anything. And I do mean anything.
Shocker.
Uh-huh. See you later, Rocco.
Standing in a grassy meadow, my necklace glows. And suddenly the meadow bursts into full bloom, with flowers sprouting up to cover every inch in sight. I feel hope blossom within me, but I can't explain why. As I am admiring the flowers, I feel a strong hand on my shoulder. It's Rocco. I turn to face him, and without a word, he simply takes me in his arm and kisses me. Ooh, I've never felt so happy. Sorry, I like reading those things in corny ways, because why not? I think of kissing Rocco. I blush and smile to myself. I'm not sure I want to share that part. Let's leave it at I dreamt of love. I open the door and step out into the hallway, and I'm surprised to find Rocco there with his hand up poised to knock.
Knock, knock.
Hi, Rocco. Did you need something?
Only you, darling. That and the elders did ask me to escort you to and from your quarters today. They seem a bit anxious after all that's happened.
Well, whatever the reason, I'm so glad to see you right now.
Likewise.
He offers me his arm, and we set off for the classroom together. Our walk to class is blessedly, there we go, uneventful. The attack on the village seemed to have frightened away a crowd of vendors that, and my selection of Magnus and Sweet William must have thinned the herd out some as well. For the first time since all the craziness has started, Rocco and I make it to class. With a few minutes to spare, all conversations stop the minute we enter the room. Rocco breaks into a room and launches himself at Rowan, who springs up from his seat and catches him expertly. He cradles him against his muscled bosom as though he were an infant and not a grown man.
Rocco!
Oh my god.
I'm here now. You don't have to worry anymore. Oh, you poor darling dear. You must have cried every day while I was gone.
Every day.
Well now, I don't see any bags under those cute little eyes of yours. Why, Rowan, I'm beginning to suspect you didn't mourn my absence at all.
Is that any way to talk to a man who's carrying you?
Rowan drops Rocco with a loud thud. Rocco pouts at me from the floor.
You see how cruel he is to me? Help me up, would you, darling?
As I help Rocco to his feet, Rowan squints at us.
You're actually helping him? And he's not using this chance to creep on you? Is there something going on between you two?
I look at Rocco uncertainly how to respond. What happened between us is no one's business but ours. And I'm not sure if now is the right time to tell everyone anyway. Before I can think of an answer, Rocco snorts diversely at Rowan.
It's normal for those who risk their lives together for the village to bond in a non-sexual manner. Though I wouldn't expect a virgin like you to understand anything about bonding of any sort.
Aww.
Get some new material already, will you? It's not even fun if you just say the same thing every single time.
I think what Rowan is really trying to say is that we're all just so glad to have you both back safe and sound. Right, Rowan?
Yeah.
Boys take their usual seats next to each other, but they both look fairly cranky. We sit in silence. The atmosphere in the classroom feels a bit awkward. Strangely, Caspian is the first to break the silence. And now they all go here.
Rocco, both of you spent some time behind enemy lines. We'd like you to tell us what you observed of the human village.
I look at Rocco. He nods at me. We approach the table and begin rearranging the markers on the map where we can.
They held us here.
There was farmland in this area.
I think I saw a stream there.
I'm gonna save here so I don't have to go through other stuff to get here.
We must make peace. It's true that the humans violated the terms of our pact. They even kidnapped 2 of us. But these were acts born of desperation, frustration, and hurt. Elementals have treated humans as simply things to be used in the furtherance of our own race. And this kind of treatment leads to deeply rooted anger. This anger festers over the years, poisoning the hearts and minds of the next generation. While it is true that we still haven't solved the problem of the furthering of our species, we simply cannot keep using human women as nothing more than breeding stock, unwelcome in our village.
As I speak, the elders nod slowly. I wonder if they would be giving my opinion this much way without the extra help from the artifact. Then again, I might be able to use the artifact to some effect on the humans if it helps keep the peace. It can't be too wrong, can it?
Yes.
Human
Current
mausoleum.
situation is untenable. We must break the cycle.
We shall send a raven with a message to the humans, with an offer to meet in 2 days' time.
In the meantime, we must prepare. You are all dismissed.
Boys don't need to be told twice. They shuffle out of the hall, palpably relieved. As I get up to leave, one of the elders, apprentices, approaches me.
Ah, miss.
I make eye contact with Rocco. He looks
Don't
concerned.
worry, Rocco. I'll be fine. They've taken good care of me so far. Come find me later, okay?
Sounds like a plan.
I'm on my way back to my quarters. No worse for wear. I can't help but wonder where Rocco is. Maybe I should have told him to meet me somewhere specific. The wind starts to pick up around me. Before I know it, a pair of arms close around my waist and lift me into the air.
Surprise.
That's kind of
Rocco,
cute.
put me down!
Don't you trust me by now, darling?
At least give me something to hang on to!
Fair enough.
Can we get down now?
If you'll indulge me for just a bit, I have somewhere special I'd like to take you. Humor me?
Fine.
I lay my head on Rocco's shoulder and squeeze my eyes shut to keep from looking down. He laughs.
You're so cute when you're all vulnerable like this. I'm almost tempted to really take my time.
Rocco!
Now, I'm not that selfish. Just hang tight.
We fly for about 10 minutes. When I feel us start to descend, I lift my head to have a look around, but Rocco covers my eyes with his hand.
Don't open your eyes yet. You came all this way with me. We might as well give you a grand reveal.
All right then.
Just a minute more. A few steps this way. Okay. Now turn around.
Forest cave. Oh, there's his instrument. We're standing in a cozy little cave in the side of the mountain close to our village. There's a plush carpet and pillows everywhere along with a hut. It looks like Rocco spent a lot of time up here. Aww. He does have a nice bone in his body and not just a horny bone.
What is this place, Rocco?
While I do so enjoy the company of others, I also enjoy my alone time. The view up here is truly magnificent. I thought you might like to see it for yourself.
He sits down on a cushion and pats one next to him.
Join me?
Sure, why not?
I take a seat next to Rocco. He's right, the view is really dazzling.
You know...
Is this the part where you say the view is beautiful, and when I agree, you say you were talking about me?
Good grief, no. It's not always about you, you know. I was going to tell you we really should stay to watch the sunset.
Do you bring your human girls up here to watch the sunset too?
Actually, you're the first person I've ever told about this place. Even Rowan doesn't know.
Really? Oh, Rocco.
Don't you feel a little bad now?
Just a little bit.
Just enjoy the sights and stop overanalyzing this moment.
All right.
Aw, Rocco takes my hand in his and lace our fingers together. A few moments go by and I can feel him looking at me.
What is it?
Oh, nothing. Your lips just look so tempting in this light.
Rocco leans forward and kisses me and suddenly realize just how happy I am. And I suddenly realize just how happy I am. I am to be alone with him in this place. I thread my fingers through his curls, and his deft hands trail down my sides to my waist. Shocker. The pads of his fingers press indentions along my skin, sending tingles through my limbs. Oh, they're so cuddly. When we pull apart, he speaks to me in a low voice that makes my heart, the heat rise in my cheeks.
I didn't think that was going to work. But since you liked that, what would you say if I told you your body also looks so tempting in this light?
He's so red right now.
I'd say you talk too much, Rocco.
I pull him down to the carpet with me His lips are on mine again before my head touches the ground. All thoughts of the sunset have fled my mind. I am consumed by my need for Rocco. Every kiss, every movement of his only make my body cry out louder for him. Oh, oh, oh. I come undone under his expert touch, sending the sound of our love echoing through the once quiet cave.
Ooh.
Oh. I didn't expect that second part. That got me off guard. Okay. Rocco lays his head on my chest and is listening to my heartbeats. I've never seen him look so content.
Oh, the sun's gone. We've missed the sunset.
I heard there'll be another one tomorrow. Perhaps we can try again.
Maybe so. But I guess we should get back now.
Can we stay here like this just a bit longer?
Oh.
Another hour couldn't hurt.
How come I didn't get a CG in that one? I'm a little sad. Usually you have a CG in that moment, so why didn't I get one? Did I press the wrong option? I'm gonna go back. This is wrong. This is not consistent. I should have gotten a CG. We're gonna go back to that because I feel like that's far enough. So, don't? Should I not? I'm confused. There's another part. Okay.
You're not that smooth, Rocco. Nice try.
Ouch.
Just hold me, please. I'm not ready for all that just yet.
Of course. Come here.
Oh, there it is. Right there. They're a little cute. Look at them. I lie back against Rocco's chest. He bends down and kisses my nose. Aww, wrapping his arms around me.
I'm just happy you're here with me.
Me too.
Uh-oh. Don't die on me now, game. Okay, good. Whew. That was a sudden, abrupt ending. So technically, all the other boys, you have a little sexy time to be able to get the CG, but if you have sexy time with him, you don't get the CG, so I'm confused. After my date, I know I'm going to sleep well tonight. Well, maybe they do have sexy time, and she just doesn't admit it. As my head hits the pillow, I slightly beg the goddess dreams of my beloved. Wah, wah, wah. I should take Rocco. I'll never turn down an opportunity to spend more time together. Now they go look at jewelry. Jewelry. I need to turn on a light. It's getting dark in here. One moment. One moment, please. also got water, so I've ran out of liquid to drink. I knock quietly on Rocco's door as to not disturb the rest of our classmates. Dot dot dot. No answer. I cautiously open the door and peek inside. Yeah. Rugs on the walls. Is that sheets on the floor? Everything's on the floor. His bed's on the floor. Sheets. Can you hear Rocco? Oh, he even has fancy wallpaper in his room. Why? But anyway. Oh, his is Love Shack, so it's got to be fancy, right? Is that what we're going for? I can hear Rocco's heavy, even breathing as I open the door. Oops, he's still asleep. I guess it's a bit earlier than I realize. He looks so innocent when he's sleeping. I'm sure he won't mind if I wake him. Nice of him to sleep without a shirt on. I appreciate the view. They all sleep with no shirts on, apparently. I lean over to press a soft kiss on his lips. He doesn't even stir.
Rocco?
Huh. He must be a heavy sleeper. I try again, lingering a bit longer. This time, Rocco seems to be almost deathly still now. It's a bit unnatural.
Rocco? Hello?
A ghost of a smile appears on his lips. That baker.
Well, it looks like you're never going to wake up. Shame. I had all kinds of fun and sexy things planned for the day. Maybe I'll go see what Lux is up to.
Marco sits straight up in bed with a flourish.
Now. No need to make threats, darling. Here I am. So, what sort of fun and sexy things did you have in mind?
I just wanted you to go look at jewelry with me.
Shopping? That doesn't sound very fun or sexy.
He apparently does not like shopping.
Well, I could go wake Lux instead. I know he'd go with me.
Yes, he would, because he's best friend. Rocco crosses his arms in a huff.
I never said I wasn't going.
Hurry and get dressed then.
You'll probably want to turn around.
Are you getting shy on me now? You didn't seem so embarrassed at the river.
It sounds like we have things to do today, and I'm told my nude body is simply irresistible. I'd hate to make us late.
Nobody's that good looking, Rocco.
I'm not nobody, darling. But don't say I didn't warn you.
He flings his blankets away and stands. The sight before me renders me momentarily speechless.
You're...
devastatingly gorgeous. Impossibly perfect. Too good to be true.
I think I'm gonna wait outside.
That's amazing. Are we shocked by this? Because I'm not. I'm not shocked by that development at all. The atmosphere in the village is quite tense this morning. It seems as if the upcoming meeting with the humans has had a chilling effect on the usual morning hustle and bustle. But I did notice a few smiles as we walked through the square, so hopefully things will turn around. Zircon's design has left an impression on me. Amongst the massive pile of advertisements, I'm excited to see what he has for me today. Well, my thing is, it's like, especially like when you live with your parents, because I know, my parents always knocked, but especially my stepmom, she always be like, "Are you awake? Can I come in?" Opens the door, like, because knowing me, how I would end up sleeping would be like my ass hanging out. And just like, "Hello, good morning. Here is my birthday suit." Like, every time she did that, my sisters would do that too. Oh my god, I'd be like in my room, like reading or something, and it was the funniest thing. She knocks and opens at the same time. Oh, I'm knocking. I'm knocking. That means I can come in, right? Like, I'm not barging in. No, so one of my sisters, I used to live with two of my sisters, and she'd knock, and before I'd respond, she'd literally crack open the door, the smallest amount to, like, have her eyeball be sticking through, and she's like, "Hi, sister. What are you doing?" And I'm like, clearly have a book in my face. I'm like, I am trying to read. And she's like, "What's you reading?" Well, I'm like, I'm not reading anything now because you keep bothering me. She'd do that all the time. Then she'd want to have like a full conversation as she's like, just her eyeball is staring at me through the tiniest crack in the door. And I'm like, are you going to come in or are you just going to creep behind my door? I don't know what's happening at this point. Oh my gosh. My sisters are so weird. My sister Katie would probably knock and then walk away, and same with my sister Allie. But no, my sister Beth, knock, knock, knock. Sister! I was like, oh. Family. Gotta love them, right? As we enter the shop, Zircon, the owner, is carefully examining a gem through a lens. He's so engrossed in his work that he doesn't even notice we've entered. Rocco and I wait patiently for a moment, but Zircon only seems to have eyes for the gem.
Morning. Good morning.
Well, I guess I could see that, because he sees it's like, okay, it's my sister. Like, I'm not... It's the last thing he wants to do is, like, come in and, like, be awkward. Like, I totally get it. Now, see, if I was waking up, because, like, me and my sister Allie would always, I mean, we were 2 years, well, age-wise, we're, like, a year and some apart, but, like, school-wise, we were 2 years apart. And, like, if it was time to go to school, or I'm like, hey, she's waking up late, I'd knock, 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 no response. I open the door. Like, if it's something like that, I'm coming in, but...
Good morning.
Zircon starts and throws his arm straight up forward. Rocco throws his arm out and summons a small gust of wind, delivering the jewel to his outstretched hand. Zircon claps relieved, then glares over at Rocco.
Do you make a habit of sneaking into shops and startling their owners, young man?
That sounds like my husband's Bob. He told me stories. When he used to live with her, he had like this small couch in his bedroom, and when he'd come home from work, put the couch in front of the door because she just opened the door without knocking. So she hitting the door on the couch, and like, "Well, I can't come in." That's the whole point. You can't come in. I don't want you to come in. Oh, that's so funny. Rocco walks over to Zircon and offers him the gem. With a polite bow, Zircon snatches the gem out of Rocco's hand and tucks it away in an apron pocket.
My deepest apologies. We meant no offense.
We?
His eyes fall upon me standing by the door.
Oh!
Oh! He seems much sheerer all the time. He fidgets awkwardly. I feel like we just went through this recently. And their necklace is wearing... with the necklace he's wearing, as I and Rocco exchange a look, maybe better to let Rocco do the talking.
The lady would like to see your designs. The traditional armbands, necklace, bracelets. Anything she needs for her coming-of-age ceremony.
At the mention of jewelry, Zircon seems to snap out of his shyness.
Oh my goodness, look at me! I haven't even offered you anything to drink! Please, follow me to the showroom.
He fills a curtain to the side and bows slowly, gesturing with his arm for us to go into the next room. The room is filled with absolutely stunning pieces. Zircon really is a master of his craft. Some of these must have taken months to make. I can't believe I get to wear some of this stuff. Zircon scurries around, straightening pieces on their display and muttering to himself about the state of things.
Oh, really dull. Haven't been shined since yesterday. What must she think?
There was some mention of drinks earlier.
Oh.
I hated working in a store that had stuff like that, where you had to polish it and clean it like every other day. People would be touching it. Oh, let me touch this glass. Let me touch this crystal. Let me touch this silver. And I'm like, fingerprints everywhere. He ducks behind the counter and emerges with some delicate glass vessels and a bottle of something colorful.
This is a special batch from one of our visiting merchants. The strawberries in Rose Glen Village are renowned. It's sparkling strawberry orange cocktail.
Sounds really good. I take a polite sip, but I'm pleasantly surprised to find I enjoy the drink. The bubbles tickle my tongue, and the strawberry orange flavors complement each other well.
I'll be just a moment. I set aside some pieces for you earlier this week.
Rocco raises the glass to his lips and takes a delicate sip.
Not bad.
Not impressed?
Like the main character boys, all the like her, Rocco, all the boys, they're all 20. Because they're coming of age. They're in the same class. Coming of age is at 20. So I guess technically college, university, is that what they're at, I would assume? They're all well aged appropriately for a game like this. As for everyone else, I don't know. I don't know how old, like, the shopkeeper or, like, her dad or anyone like that.
Back home, we have something like this, but it's a lot better. Blackberry, raspberry, plum cordial.
You guys couldn't come up with a better name for it than that?
And I don't know if they live longer than humans.
We usually just call it cordial.
You should call it, like, BRP cordial.
BRP. That's one letter away from burp.
Yeah, well, I think it's 18. I think it's technically like you're in school until you come of age in their society. That's one letter away from burp.
Fizzy drinks make you do that, right? It works on multiple levels.
He's not impressed.
Blown away by my incredible wit?
I suppose we can't all be as perfect as I am.
Zircon returns to a massive wooden chest in his hands.
Just set those glasses on the table over there. My dear, if you'll just come this way.
Zircon opens the chest, a shining gold set of bracelets, armbands, and necklaces.
Oh my, they're exquisite.
Thank you. Would you like to try them on?
Oh, could I? Thank you so much.
As Zircon and I chat about the ceremonial jewelry, Rocco drifts around the room, idly poking at a few pieces here and there. After a while, he steps in front of the display of matching wedding jewelry, the traditional headpiece for a female and necklace for the veil. Zircon notices he's looking past him and turns to see what's holding my attention. He darts back and forth between the two of us. In a moment before he suddenly bursts into tears, dashing across the room, and cups Rocco's face in his hands, sobbing joyously.
Oh, my dears, how wonderful! Your union will secure the future of this village. No, the entire race!
Oh.
And to think you chose my humble designs for your wedding.
We couldn't picture our wedding any other way.
I give Rocco a cheeky smile, wink. He laughs.
Nothing but the best for my bride.
Now, don't be shy, my children, please.
He waves me over to them, eagerly dabbing at his eyes with his apron in between. He takes the necklace off the mannequin and fits it around Rocco's neck, then helps me put the headpiece on. He ushers us over to a nearby mirror.
See how fine you look!
Rocco and I lock eyes in the mirror, and I give him a wink. He smiles sweetly at me. I could swear I see a blush in this reflection. Where'd this tender Rocco come from? I guess even he gets sentimental sometimes.
Oh, but I've gotten ahead of myself. We must focus on the task at hand. Focus, Zircon, focus!
Yes. Get it together, man. Oh. We hear a loud smack of flesh hitting flesh. It sounds like Zircon actually slapped himself in the face.
Did you have any questions about the jewelry, my dear? Anything you wanted changed?
Oh no, what you've done is wonderful. It should go perfectly with my dress.
In that case, I must get to work immediately.
But aren't they done already?
Now that I've seen them on your form, I have a few adjustments to make to ensure they'll fit you perfectly. And of course I must polish them and imbue them with some certain magical auras. Trade secrets, you know.
Thank you so much for your generosity, Zircon. It'll be an honor to wear your pieces.
Thank you, my dear. There is no greater feeling for a craftsman than to see his pieces worn by someone who truly appreciates them.
Just a moment, Zircon. I'll be right out, darling. You go ahead.
All right then. See you soon.
We've overcome worse than this already, darling. The odds are on our side this time.
He takes my hand in his and raises it to his lips, kissing it softly. We walk to the council hall, hand in hand. I actually put something in my toaster oven too as I got water. And it dinged. I'm pretty sure it's not. That's the creepy thing about the children and the mama. Ew, it's fucking creepy as shit. I'm gonna go check on my oven. I think I need to reset the timer on the toaster oven. Yeah, so she has this vision where they're in a meeting at the council hall, and she like kind of starts having this vision where she's in the field, and all of a sudden she sees all these shadows, and it's like all these elemental children. Then all of them start turning into women or like little girls, and they keep saying "Mama, Mama, Mama," and then she like sees the goddess statue and all this stuff, and then she like comes to, and then like bursts out and just starts running to the
Rocco, what are you doing
to that
here?
statue, the holy ground she made unholy with Daniel.
What a silly question. I'm here to check up on you, of course. Are you all right, darling?
I'm fine. I just tripped and decided maybe this was my body's way of making me take a moment to breathe.
Always listen to your body.
Rocco leans down and offers his hand to me.
Well then, time to dust yourself off and carry on, isn't it?
Take his hand and pull myself up.
Thanks, Rocco.
Yeah, and like the way the kids say it is kind of like that kind of like horror film type thing where it's like you just hear like a whisper and then it turns into a word. So it's like they're like, "Mama," and I don't know. It's just creepy, especially when they say "mama" and not like mom or mother. They "mama," and I'm just like creepy. We sat off for the goddess statue again.
Just where are we running off to anyway?
The goddess. It might sound crazy, but I had a weird vision about her, and I feel like she might be the key to something.
The words falter as they come out of my mouth. How do I know this isn't some magical induced hallucination? Why am I doing this now? But no matter how ridiculous it sounds, something drives me forward.
I'm with you, darling. Lead the way.
Rocco, if you could just wait a few paces back.
As you wish, darling.
I'm going to have to try to reenact some of my vision if I want to try to understand it, which means I take a hesitant step into the water. It's freezing cold, and at the bottom of the pool it's covered with something unpleasant, slippery substance. I grit my teeth. Come on, this is important. Don't be a baby. Images from my previous vision flash through my mind's eye. I close my eye and focus my energy on the amulet around my neck, and to my great relief, I can feel the water beginning to warm around me as the jewel begins to glow and radiate heat. Just as I saw in my vision, the light from my amulet begins to pulse in time with light radiating from the eyes of the goddess.
What are you doing?
The pool has grown pleasantly warm, and the water is beginning to churn around me. Myriad colors emanate from the pool and the goddess' eyes, culminating in one massive rainbow-colored shockwave that bursts out from my necklace. There is a long silence. I cautiously open my eyes, and then the other. The goddess appears to me as the day she was carved. She's no longer covered in moss and plant matter. Her jeweled eyes are glitter in the sunlight. The pool itself seems to have been magically purified in the same way. I can see straight through the bottom, and the floor of the pool is no longer slippery and unpleasant. Rocco is frozen in place. He looks like he's about to make his way to the pool before a great rainbow explosion. He stares at me wide-eyed.
Did you mean to do that?
I don't know.
I wade out of the pool and we walk back towards the village together in a bewildered silence. Another day closer to the big meeting with the humans. And then, oh, that girl you
For
just
all
saw,
we know, this...
she disappears. One of the elders' children walks in, or grandchild, I don't remember, probably grandchild, walks in, and she ends up being a girl. So, hallelujah, there's another girl. Hallelujah, hallelujah. So then she hears a big commotion coming out of the house. She goes and investigates, and someone else's child has turned into a female as well. They turned into females at the age of 10. So Rocco is looking at me with a mix of pride and admiration. I take a step towards him, but before I know it, Lux lifts me into the air onto his shoulders, and the rest of my classmates gather around, save Caspian, who leans coolly against the wall in the corner, as he always does. He's smiling this time, though. Rowan and Ignatius are dancing. Rowan twirls Ignatius around as though he weighs nothing.
We're saved! Put me down!
I love that voice actor. He captures him so well.
Everything's gonna be alright! Let me go!
Cassian wrenches Ignatius from Rowan's grasp and then squeezes them both in a hug, then seems less celebratory and more
Shut up and enjoy this moment, friends.
Across the room, Rocco and I lock eyes and share an intimate smile. Maybe we'll have a chance for a real future now. Yeah, so she purified the statue. I'm guessing that's what happened. That statue over time, since it was left reluctantly unattended to, it damage their gene pool? I don't know. Aw, look at... They all look sad in the background. Well, at least Ignatius and Rowan look sad. Ignatius looks real sad. Poor boy. This time Rocco takes me in his arm and embraces me tenderly. Unfortunately, it does not escape the notice of our group.
I can't believe you managed to convince the one girl in our village to go out with you.
Of course. I guess girls like confident guys.
Aww.
A few weeks ago, I would have said this was a poor match. And I cannot say I understand entirely. But you have shown great bravery and honor during your ordeal, Sir Rocco. Your families should be proud.
Congratulations, my friends. I couldn't be happier for you.
Perhaps there will be a wedding along with our coming-of-age ceremony celebration.
Anything can happen in an atmosphere like this.
Okay, I'm gonna go check on what I have in my toaster oven. I might have turned it on again for too long. We are on the home stretch. Peeps. Got a bag, carrots. Don't judge. Table's heavy. Just getting ready. It's gonna get her dressed on. I feel like Sweet William and oh, his name escapes me now. Hold on. They're like two proud uncles. That's just the vibe I get from them. Two very proud uncles. An antique bridal palanquin sits outside. Rowan and Lux are standing on either side. They give me a smile and a wave.
What's this for? What are you two doing here?
Sweet William asked us to help transport you to the shrine.
So here we are. There's no way I'd miss being a part of your big day.
So sweet.
You look absolutely stunning.
Rocco's gonna lose it when he sees you. Must be nice.
Aww. The boys deposit me near the side door, and Lux helps me climb out.
Lux,
right?
I'm nervous. I've been like this my entire life. Everything's going to change in a few moments.
Lux puts his hand on my shoulder and gives me a comforting smile.
You'll still be the same wonderful person you've always been. So what if you look a little different? you'll be just as intelligent and capable and beautiful as you are now. And since you'll be settling into one element, you'll get to really dive into your magic. You'll find power you never knew you had. This is a wonderful thing.
Oh, Lux, where would I be without you? You're the...
Oops, you're the best, she says. Lux envelops me in his muscled arms and I hug him tightly. He kisses the top of my head.
Don't worry about what's to come. You have amazing things ahead of you. And if Rocco doesn't treat you right, I'll rip his arms off and beat him to death with them. Well, they'll be expecting you inside, and Rowan and I need to take our seats. Shall we?
This time it's ripping his arms off and beating him to death. Last time it was pounding him to a pulp.
Lux has kind of a scary side, doesn't he?
Right?
A little bit.
His dad comes, sees him. So we enter the ceremonial hall. I see a row after row of elemental spectators. Hundreds of pairs of eyes are all on me. I've never seen this many people in one room before. No, stop thinking about that. Let's focus about something else. Oh, where's Rocco? As I near the front of the room, I see Rocco seated amongst my classmates. His gorgeous face is a reflection of my relief to my panicked eyes. I always say you want to say pancake eyes, and I don't know why. He radiates confidence. Rowan elbows him in the ribs and points in my direction. As soon as our eyes meet, Rocco gives me a smile that makes me feel like the only one in the room. He gives me a small smile from my own. I give him a small smile of my own and make my way up to the altar in front of the room. Blah, blah, blah. Elderling gives me a proud smile as I approach. Hyacinth, who's one of the elder's daughters, takes her place by his side. She looks so good. Wind. I am a wind elemental now. Even as the hall erupts with the cheers of hundreds of elementals, all I can see when I look out to the crowd is Rocco's smiling face. My stomach is doing flip-flops again, but this time it's because of him. Aww. I know, right? And she's amazing. So look in the bottom right hand corner, my favorite thing to skip the credits. Here comes, oop, there it goes. I love that. I think it's funny. Later that night, there's her little cakes everywhere. This trophy is the wind beneath my wings. That song has sentimental value to me a little bit. The party began the moment we left the shrine and show no sign of stopping anytime soon. Rowan and Caspian are playing a drinking game involving various feats of strength. Neither of them can stump the other, and as they get increasingly drunk, their feats get less and less graceful. They balance in wobbly handstands against the wall, arguing amongst themselves. Over in the corner, Ignatius is hard at work on an intricate sunrise henna design for Lux's back. Rocco takes me by the hand and leads me out into the hallway. He pushes me against the wall and kisses me so passionately. I have to turn away from him, lest I lose my inhibitions entirely.
Rocco! There's still people around.
I've been waiting to do that all day. But that's not the real reason I brought you out here.
Oh?
Oh?
I just wanted to talk to you away from everyone. As much as I love an audience, something should be private.
As much as I love an audience of what?
Wow, Rocco. If I didn't know any better, I'd say you were developing a sense of shame.
Shame? Never that, darling.
Well, go on then. What are we doing out here?
I thought it might be nice to reflect for a moment on how far we've come.
Yeah, it is kind of amazing. You went from hitting on me all the time to only hitting on me some of the time.
I don't have to try as hard, now that I know you'll let me get away with it.
Congratulations, Rocco. You finally wore me down.
I'd prefer to think you just succumbed to my charms. It was inevitable, really.
In seriousness, I'm so glad I got to know you better. I never knew there was such a sweet guy hiding underneath.
I've probably met more women than most in this village. But I've never met anyone like you.
Like me?
You're beautiful and kind, sure. But you're strong, clever, and determined. I was drawn to you before. But what you've done for our people, what you did for me, you brought something out of me I didn't even know was there. It's hard to improve on perfection, but you made me want to be a better man. I love you.
Aww.
Oh, Rocco, I love you too.
He takes my hand in his, and realization dawns on me, and he leans in to rest his forehead against mine. He can grow up and mature a little bit. Wait a minute. Oh my goddess. Oh my goodness. Is he?
I never thought of myself as the marrying type. But after this week, I can't fathom anything else. All I want to do is spend the rest of my life with you, my darling.
Aww. Can teach an old dog new tricks.
Will you marry me?
I'm gonna save it here so I don't have to go through a whole bunch of stuff to get to this part.
Yes! Yes, Rocco!
You've made me so happy.
He kisses me again and
Oh,
again.
I almost forgot.
Almost. He draws back for a moment and produces a small flat box. He opens it, revealing the headpiece and necklace we tried at Zircon's earlier.
Oh, it's the one we tried on before. It's so beautiful.
May I?
Yes, please.
I bow my head, and he places the jewel headpiece onto my
You're
hair.
radiant. What a lucky man I am.
Don't forget yours, Rocco.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, I guess I do have to put that on. Leans forward and allows me to lower the necklace over his head.
It looks so wonderful on you. I'm so happy, Rocco. I can't wait to start the rest of our lives together.
Me too.
Aww. And it's so, I like that jacket better than his other one he usually wears. Now, if we continue, this is just the other CG. Because if you say, we don't need to get married.
Will you marry me?
Oh, Rocco. I love you so much. But I don't think we need to be married to be committed to each other.
A fair point.
I want to spend the rest of my life with you, Rocco. I don't need any jewelry or a ceremony to prove it to you.
Well, I can't say I disagree. Marriage or not, if you'll have me, I'm here for the long haul.
Don't ever leave.
And the only difference is she doesn't have the headpiece and he doesn't have the necklace on. Finn. Now, do an Eva Queen moment here. It is still cute. It's nice that you can have either or and still have a happy ending and not like a normal ending, so to say. So I'm gonna say, destroy the human village. Shortly after our meeting, the elders give the orders to have the humans killed and their village destroyed. Women, children, elderly, they slaughter them all. The air was thick with the stench of blood and screams of the dying. Yeah, I told you. Evil Queen moment. Tapping into the power of the amulet. That day changed me, and when I gave myself over to it fully, that was when my life truly began. I never had my coming of age ceremony, but it did not matter. The power of the amulet allowed me to had me mastery of all the elements. In the face of such naked raw power, my people began looking to me for guidance more and more. Eventually, I installed myself as queen, the first ruler of this kind in our people's history. My subjects are both terrified of me and hopelessly in love with me. Under my rule, we conducted periodic raids of human villages throughout the land to repopulate our people as our needs demanded. As for Rocco and I, we had 4 daughters. Each were more cruel and beautiful than the last. Oh, okay. I feel like he slightly enjoys that. I don't know. He's giving a very slave Princess Leia look to it. See, Daniel said the end instead of Finn, so it's like almost like a bad end, I feel like, his route. Oh yay, now we just have one route left. Of course, she did not enjoy it, but... Okay, so now I'm done for the day. We're gonna have to wait for another day for Caspian. I know I say days. I'm off Friday, so I can probably do it Friday, but don't hold me to it. I'll tweet about it. But it would be nice to be done with the game. I think I should have almost all the trophies. It says I'm only 50% done. I don't think it's updated though. It's possible. So yeah, one more route. Mia, others, watch Lux's stream because then I don't skip anything. That's the first one I did. And then the other ones, it's easier to follow. Yay! You have to tell me what you do or are going to do. I get to help with an install on Wednesday and Thursday, and I'm debating if I need to chop off my nails or not because they have gotten quite long. Yep, have at it. I will be here. Oh, that is what I do. Girl, if you ever need to blow off some steam, I can relate to you. I can relate to you. I do too. Well, I mean, they call it an ask for things, and they're like, what do I need to do this? This is what you need. Okay, I'll buy it. It's not really like I have to bribe them into buying anything. It's pretty much, hey, you have what I need, but which one do I need? So, but yeah, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Thanks for chatting and everything. So, but we'll see ya next time. Yes, please do, Mia. I appreciate it. Because I'll then I can vent to you and you'll be like, I get it. I totally get all those venting tweets you do now.